Ladies and gentlemen, we build on topics, whether conscious or cosmic. It's never nonsense, mega levels are microscopic. It's a Killah Priest project, AD control the rocket. Before we land the plane, many things we engage and explain. The unexplained, without mask. Welcome to the Killah Priest podcast. Killah Priest podcast.
Yeah, check 1 2. Check 1 tizzle. 1 2 1 2. Yeah. What are the setups we got around here? Yeah. What's cracking? What's going on? What's happening? Yo. Getting set up right here. Non-stop action, non-stop moving, non-stop adjustments, non-stop production. You know how we do. AD Ross holding it down temporarily while KP is doing a show. Oh, for sure. So, you know how we do. What's going on? Man, it's going to be a wild night. I always say that. I say that literally every night. It's going to be cool. Check 1 2.
Amazing.
All right. Everything's set up. What's happening? Let me get the Zoom going. We're going to have KP joining us here. We're going to have some guests joining us here. It's about to go down. You already know. Yeah. Staying busy. What's good with y'all? We got Solar Facts in the house. We're going to be working off the chat. You know me, I'm always multitasking, so I'm setting everything up right. So thanks for joining us today. Conscious Connect is in the house. Yeah, I'm getting the Zoom up and going, so we're going to see what guests we got. We're going to see how it all goes down. What's Sunday fun day, y'all. I had to go run errands, my normal Sunday errands, get back here to the show, set everything up, have a little breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I'll be having breakfast at 5 p.m. So thanks for bearing with us. Let's go. Bam. All right, I am ready and set up. Know what I'm saying? Okay, let's go. Let's see, Mo Life in the house. Can y'all see me? Yes, okay, cool. Want to make sure I'm actually rocking here. Yeah, we are up and running. All right, got a big space over here. Obviously, that's where we're going to have the Zoom guests join us, you know what I mean? I don't really go full screen that much because it's just not much. It's just me and the keyboard, you know what I'm saying? So I usually going to bring it back over here. So we got the advertisements right up here. If you are interested in sponsoring the show or doing some advertising, if you have a company, if you have an album coming out, if you want to promote yourself, hit us up at AD, like advertising, at killerpriest.tv. And we'll send you a booklet, a PDF that'll discuss all the possible ways that you can advertise here on the Killah Priest Podcraft. There are many areas you can advertise. You can advertise up here. We also have another section for the song promotion segment. Let me get that going up real quick. It's going to be over here. You remember this? You'll see an ad on the top right corner. You can have your ad right there promoting your album, promoting your company, your business. Maybe your uncle's got a business. We already have 2 advertisers rocking, so that's what's happening. We are expanding. It's kind of up and out of the way. It's not too much in your face, but it's a great spot in case you want to, get some promotion going, get some more views, get some more clicks into your website, get some more sales. Know what I mean? All right, we already have somebody joining us in the Zoom. Oh, yeah. Y'all going to be excited. Let me just, I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to surprise y'all. Let them come in here. Yeah, man, you never know what's going to happen on the show because I never know what's going to happen on the show. So let's see. We're going to set this up right here. All right. How you doing, sir?
Peace and love, Almighty. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hold on. I'm going to get the special area here set up. Like this. Like that. It's got to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist. To a fault. Yeah, you got a nice green screen going on there too.
Yes. Let me see, can I put a good image behind me?
Absolutely. I had to update the software. That's why I was a little bit late today because the software was like, click here to update. And I'm like, oh man, we're in that Mercury retrograde shadow. So I'm like, if I don't update, there might be a situation later. So I was like, I better get that out the way. So I did a whole software update. This whole technological world can be crazy, as you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see. I think we are set. Yes, here we go. Everything. I had to reset all my adjustments here. There we go. You can see the screen good, right? I also got you with the audio. You can hear the audio and everything. And if we do a share screen, you are ready for that as well. What's happening?
What's happening? All is well, good brother. All is truly well. And yourself?
Nice. I'm great. Just constantly moving, staying busy. All the time.
Yeah. All the time.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you rocking that green screen. You got some good lighting going on over there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my CrumbTV background. There we go. Background. Sign in.
That's right. That's right. Okay, we got Botanical Bro in the chat room. He says Bitcoin fire. Hell yeah. I'm into that Bitcoin as well. The cryptocurrency is making a comeback. Things are going up. I got my Dogecoin. I got my Bonk coin. Solana. What y'all know about Solana? Yeah. Gods. If you guys know about Gods coin, I just jumped into that. We could talk crypto. That's a whole world right there. Yeah, Jody Southworth in the building. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a good show. You already know. Rakib El Shams Arif in the house. Well, people are coming in quick. SL Smith, he's a regular. Oh, look at that. Yeah. You're on that DMT trip right there.
That's right.
Very nice. Yes, sir.
I got my Merkaba behind me. You may can see that. Yeah.
Ooh, you could do a whole show on that alone.
Amen. Amen, church.
I be following you on Instagram, man. You post a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I'd be following you too. I just it's a little more silly over there, but yeah, I try to keep it light because it's so deep on YouTube.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with the algorithms and the Instagram and the way it's all censored and everything. You do one wrong thing and then you're like suspended for a week on Instagram.
Right, and it's even worse on TikTok. China doesn't have freedom of speech. So.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. So many subjects we can go into, man. So many places to go. I know Priest might be joining us as well. Uh-oh. We've got someone else joining us here. Hold on. I believe we have authorization. Let's see. Okay. Got it. Yes, sir. We're bringing in Eric Van Banks in the house. All right. He's joining us as well. Let me get this set up right. I believe we have authorization. Oh, I can hear myself. See? Okay. He's got the playback going. Love the sound of my own voice. Yeah. All right, he's going to be joining us right there. It's going to be a party tonight. Priest says we're going to be showing the Abraxas cover once again. We may have Knowledge Born joining us for the song promotion segment. Hit the like button. We almost at 80,000 subscribers for the Killah Priest channel. We're partying tonight. Okay. Well, we're going to mute Eric for now. We're going to bring Eric in later according to Priest so that we can let Crumb go ahead and build. Yes, sir. All right, so it's going to be on you, Crumb. The floor is going to be yours. You got a presentation for us today?
Yeah, I try to keep something in my back pocket.
Man, you always got something going on. You always got a good presentation ready to rock.
I'm
Uh,
just letting my family know that I'm over here with you so they can kind of come join us.
yep. Let them all pile in.
Um,
Cool. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask if it's okay. We may not want to go there, and I want to respect that. You know, I've got a couple of things in my goodie bag. Could we talk about Kamala, whatever you want to call her?
I don't really see why not, you know what I mean? The political spectrum has always been a little shaky. Um, I think you already know, we can't talk about what David Icke had spoken about as far as, any kind of medical stuff that's politically involved, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of avoid that topic because that's a sensitive topic. But I think you already kind of know that, being that you're on YouTube already. So I think you're pretty much in the clear because a lot of people are talking about what you're about to talk about already. I noticed it's a hot topic right now, so it's trending. So I'm gonna go ahead and say you're clear, given the obvious.
Gratitude.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Kamala or Kamala, I'm still not sure how to pronounce her name,
Mm,
but her middle name is Devi.
okay.
Um, and I know the family may or may not know she is of mixed heritage, and that's a wonderful thing. Um, but I would say that she's posing as a fake black god, and I'll tell you why. Um, her middle name is Devil. I mean Devi. Please forgive me. She's a fake black goddess on a warpath against men in this particular sense as a Devi. So her full name is Kamala Devi Harris. Um, and she's the highest ranking female elected official in United States history and the first so-called African American. Kamala's middle name is Devi, and Devi is the root word of both devil and divine because
Mm,
every god is a devil and every devil is a god. It's
mm,
all synonymous. And if we look at the word Devi, this is according to ancient.eu. This is a scholastic source. It says Devi, also known as Mahadevi or great goddess. And going down to the last sentence, she was assimilated into I'm sorry, matter of fact, I'll read the whole thing. Is an all-embracing mother goddess first worshipped in India in prehistoric times. This was before all of the Hindu pantheon. Anybody know how much all is? Uh,
mm.
and, and once they came in the Vedic period, she was assimilated into the Hindu pantheon and came to represent the female energy of Sakti or power of her husband Shiva. This is no different than God using Sophia, which is wisdom. In the beginning, God used wisdom to create everything. In the beginning, according to the Vedic period, Shiva used Sakti to create the world and all things.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Are you doing a share screen right now?
I am.
My bad. Okay, hold on a second, because I'm doing a share screen for you to see what's going on here. My bad. Okay. We're going to switch up the setup. I'm going in over here. Sorry about that. I had it set up in a way for you to see what's happening over here through the share screen. Let me set it up over there real quick. I got a different thing here. Give me a second. View screen. 1 second. Here we go. Boom. Boom. All right, we're almost there.
While you're doing that, if I could just back up just a moment and introduce myself, is that okay?
Absolutely, please do. I'll get set up in the meantime.
Well, I just wanted to let the family know my name is, I go by the moniker, the Master Student. Everybody just calls me Crumb of CrumbTV. I am your humble brother. I am not someone who is a teacher. So don't say, oh, Crumb said this, Crumb said that. I want to tell everybody, please, please, please do your own research. I am on CrumbTV on YouTube. I'm on CrumbTV on Facebook. I am almost at 100,000 on both on YouTube, on Facebook, and I'm almost at 50,000 on YouTube. So I'm doing moderately well. And please, when I say moderate, trust and believe it's only moderate. It's not what you think it may be. But nonetheless, I am a teacher of the Aquarian. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm a student of the Aquarian age, and I am just in love with doing research. And that's kind of who I am in a nutshell.
Awesome. Great introduction. All right, I am set up and you are clear to proceed.
Okay, so here we have Kamala, however you want to pronounce it, but her middle name is Devi because she is of She is of Indian stock. That is her cultural background. So when I say her middle name is Devi, it is a very Indian name. Her mother has an Indian name. Her sister has an Indian name. Her nieces and her nieces all have Indian names. And a Devi. You see here, both are the root word of devil and divine, but divine is spelled D-I instead of D-E. So I just want to clarify. Devi, D-E-V-I, D-I-V-A, or D-E-V-A. Devi has several variations, but they all translate to goddess. So here we have origin and etymology. Etymology means the origin of a word. Definitions change, origins don't. Italian, because 30% of our language comes from, no, I'm sorry, that's French. Italian, literally goddess from Latin, feminine of divus, divine, God. So her middle name is Devi or God. But let's go with diva. This is according to thebump.com in an article titled Diva, Name, Meaning, Origin, and Popularity. Diva is a girl's name of the Hindi origin meaning divine or godlike. In Hindu mythology, Diva is another name for the moon goddess. This is the same thing you saw with Allah. The origin of Allah is Allat, A-L-L-O-T. I digress. So these divas, and this slide is titled Fighting Divas. The male asuras are bad and the female divas are good. This is at face value if you don't look too deep into it. So I'm going to read this. Asuras are a class of beings, a power-seeking clan related to the more benevolent divas. So they're trying to say that the males are bad, the females are good. And this is all in Hinduism. The Asuras battle constantly with the divas. The Asuras are described in Indian texts as powerful superhuman demigods with good or bad qualities. So in the movie Aladdin, Genie, well, they're all genies, Genie was a good Asura. And in this particular picture where we see this, I don't know if it's an amulet or a watch or something like that, but this is supposed to be a bad Asura. And she really embodies this image where they go against men. I wanted to ask, brother AD, did you know that Kamala, her relationship with her father is estranged?
No, I didn't know that.
Kamala's father cut her off when she first ran for president, back when she first ran against Joe Biden.
Wow.
Back when she was running for the Democratic nomination and she lost to Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
I call him Joe Bot. That's not Joe, that's a robot. I call him Joe Bot.
Yeah.
Back when she was running against Joe Bot, and she lost the Democratic nomination, her father said, I don't stand for it and I'm against it and I'm cutting you off. They're estranged. They don't have love for each other.
So like disowned.
Disowned. Estranged. No love.
Wow.
Estranged definition.
I remember the song Estranged by Guns N' Roses, but I never knew what it meant.
Of a person no longer close or affectionate to somebody. Kamala Harris, you'll never see her daddy endorse her. You never see her daddy say anything good about her. You didn't see her daddy when she first ran for president, and you won't see her. Her daddy's alive right now. You won't see her daddy right now because the spirit of a diva is to go against the male energy, even if it's your father's. And the reason she goes against her father's male energy is because her mother put that battery in her back. Remember, her father's Jamaican. So her mother went to court and play the cliche card. And I remember her father is a dignitary. Her father is educated to the 9th degree. He's like a super genius. And her mother took him to court and painted him as a reggae loving, weed smoking, pothead, dope boy who has no business having custody of a child. Even though he was at that level of being a diplomat, being all types of fancy accolades or whatever, and they diminished him to being nothing. And this is the spirit of a diva.
Wow.
So in this side, the male Asorus are bad and the female divas are good. And they try to kind of use a broad paintbrush to make it seem some type of way. But let's go to Britannica to get a better understanding. According to Britannica, the Asorus are not bad. They're just more physical. So this is Britannica. It says, now the Asaru, this is in Hindu, but in Iran, which was originally Persia, it's Ahura. Now, if you're not familiar with Ahura Mazda, there's a car company called Mazda.
Yeah.
And now Mazda, Mazda, Mazda is based on the god Ahura Mazda. And this was the god of Zoroastrianism. This was the god of the fire religion. And this is where a lot of those Hindus get their religion from. Because do you know what kept their fire burning, brother?
What's that?
Cow dung.
Wow. Fertilizer?
BS.
Wow.
The religion is based on BS. So now you go into Hindu and the cow is sacred because over here the source of methane gas.
Yeah.
It's a great lighter fluid. I digress. So Ahura, according to the Iranians or the Persians, is the same as Asura. In Hindu mythology, a class of beings defined by their opposition to the devas. The term Asura first appears in the Vedas, a collection of poems and hymns composed back in the day, and refers to a human or a divine leader. They're not bad, they're just more physical, meaning they're like a demiurge. Now, if you go and look at below this, I'm going to delete this to focus your attention. If you look below, in Hinduism, the devas are celestial. They're more spiritual. Remember, women have intuition where men don't necessarily have that. Now, are you familiar with the public figure? He's alive right now. A dude by the name of Irritated Genie.
Irritated Genie?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Irritated Genie is a leader within the conscious community. He's had debates with Umar Johnson. He's really he wrote a book called War on the Horizon. He was the master student of Francis Cress Welsing. I think the other brother wanted to speak.
No, the Zoom switched cameras here. I can fix that. Here, 1 second. Boom.
Okay. So when we talk about these Asuras, the fighting Asuras, because this is a fight between the masculine and feminine, or maybe a harmonic, chaotic dance, if you will. Side note, there is no such thing as good or bad. These biases are subjective. What's good to you may be bad to me. What's bad to me may be good to you. It's all subjective. So consider the following. The Irritated Genie, because these are genies, remember, these are genies, these are Asuras. The Irritated Genie was an essay on the Haitian Revolution. The rebellious spirit that the Haitians embodied was a bad Asura who was used for good. So, hey, listen, these bad things can be good and the good things can be bad, so on and so forth. So it's perspective in that regard. Moving on, if you don't have anything to add.
Not at all.
Kamala, the cop. Kamala has a history of throwing blacks in jail, both men and women, but primarily men. Kamala is a neocolonialist. A neocolonialist. Neocolonialism, the integration of a colonized person, somebody who has been colonized by their oppressor, the integration of a colonized person into a colonized system in order to enact policies of the colonizer. That's a lot of words. Bear with me. Kamala is just playing blackface, doing the job of the colonizer. Neocolonialism is a colonial propaganda and is meant to fool the masses of oppressed people that becoming the oppressor leads to freedom. Don't be fooled by symbolism, as Obama's presidency showed us. Symbolism does not mean progress for the masses of our people. Black people thought Obama was going to be the savior and this and this and that and blah, 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 but he was a token. I operate under the political belief that there are no good presidents. So I don't want anybody to think that this is a campaign to promote Donald Trump or anybody. I'm not promoting anybody. This is just an expose on Kamala. Take it with a grain of salt. Presidents are just figureheads of the colonial state. I aim to have a principled critique of her record that advances melanated political thought. That's all I'm doing right now is a political critique, not endorsing any political candidate. Slave patrol, because this is neocolonialism. America has no moral ability to be able to decide who lives and who does not. The death penalty is fundamentally racist, yet Kamala supports it, furthering her record as a tough on crime politician. Not only has she failed to support policies that might improve the lives of our people, she has defended the need for prison slavery. What's dangerous about Kamala is that she weaponizes civil rights language while practicing colonialism. For instance, she said, and I quote, "The idea that we incarcerate people to have indentured servitude is one of the worst possible perceptions. I feel strongly about that. It evokes images of chain gangs." She don't like that whole thing. Despite making the connection between prison labor and chain gangs, she pushed back against a federal order to expand an early parole program. And she argued this, and I quote, "It would deplete our stock of prison labor, especially inmates fighting wildfires." Remember, all of this is going down in California.
Hey, good evening, brothers. Good to see y'all.
What's going on, brother?
Why is that yin yang sign up?
That is my background picture for the Zoom. It's inactive for the actual show.
I don't see myself. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Well, Crumb was doing a presentation, but I can go ahead and bring you on in the side
I
here.
just wanted to, I'm sorry to interrupt, Crom. I just wanted to know if I was there. I didn't know if I was there or not.
Oh, yeah. No, you're here. We got you. But I'll bring you on screen so you can see yourself.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm visible or not. I'm sorry to interrupt, though.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I'm really listening to his knowledge. It's really good. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm grateful.
Okay, I see me. Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
brother.
No problem. Is that a RoboCop figure right there on the right?
Yeah, Kamala the RoboCop.
Right. Because
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Remember, before she became the senator, she was attorney general. No, I'm sorry. She was the top prosecutor. Yeah, attorney general, I think she was. No, not attorney general. I'll tell you what her position was in just a second before she became senator. This is all going down in California. Lead prosecutor. Wildfire fighting inmates make slave wages. If you want to get out of prison early, you're going to have to fight a fire. Not any fire, California wildfires. Remember, Tony told you, it never rains in Southern California.
Yes.
You know, it's a very dry place out there, very dry, very arid. They don't get rain a lot. So if you want to fight fires, if you want to get out of prison earlier, you're gonna have to go against one of these hellish flames out in California, paid $1 an hour. That ain't right. That ain't right, family. Kamala isn't only a super cop, but she is an adamant defender of the institution of policing that's rooted in slave labor. Kamala is a cop. Since she took her first job as the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, not Attorney General, she was at the District Attorney's Office, please forgive me. Her family and peers questioned why a woman of color would want to be a part of a system that locked up so many men from their community. It's also a choice that dogged her as she half-heartedly attempted to answer the call for far-reaching changes to American justice. Her efforts have had the opposite effects, earning her the hashtag Kamala is a cop. And if anybody wants to research me, enter in the hashtag Kamala is a cop, and all of this information will flood your results. Top cop in Cali. Kamala's been locking up people at Renee, referring to the Oakland courthouse, since way back, and was doing it with a smile on her face. Kamala Harris spent her career as a district attorney of Alameda County, San Francisco, and as an attorney general. She was the attorney general, aka the top cop of California. There is no higher policing authority in each individual state than the attorney general. That was her job before she became senator. That's why I called her the top cop. Residents of the Bay Area, shout out to the Bay Area. If anybody is in the Bay Area right now, let me put some respect on your name. Shout out to y'all. Lived in Oakland specifically, are constantly reminded of her history of locking up our people in the Bay Area. Her track record consists of terrorizing our communities through the prison industrial complex. Kamala threw more than 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations while giggling and laughing on the Breakfast Club that she smoked, quote unquote, quite a bit. So you lock it. Now remember, California has since legalized marijuana. But then when they were on the verge of doing this, she was throwing the family in jail wholesale.
Damn.
Protecting bad policy. Whether it was declining to advocate for legalization of marijuana in California, in which our people are arrested at the highest rate, or her failure to support body cameras. Remember, back when she was in office in California, there were no body cameras in all of America. She said no body cameras. Now remember, she's the top cop. She said no marijuana, no body cameras. Both of those things aged very poorly because now we have body cameras everywhere and we have marijuana in almost 2/3 of all the states. Once it hits 2/3, it's going to be it becomes federal. Failure to support body cameras for police while simultaneously opposing legislation that would require her office to independently investigate police shootings. Kamala isn't for the people. She's even defended the 3 strikes law, shout out to Joe Biden, in which our people are incarcerated at a rate 12 times higher than our non-melanated counterparts. Kamala has demonstrated through her actions that she does not value our lives, but rather supports the demise via the carceral state, carceral meaning punitive or jail or prison or something like that. My first example, if nobody has anything to add.
I'm good.
Yeah, I would just like to say about Kamala Harris. It's been brought out that she is really lacks a whole lot of brains right now. Like when she starts to talk, she really has nothing to say. I don't know if you noticed that. Like it's really like no dialogue, and what's even more than that, no political dialogue. She doesn't speak any terminology that's politically understood. And on top of that, they're only pushing her for presidency because they're going to play the card first woman president. And more than that, they're trying to play another card, first Black woman president. And even more importantly than that, it's a game that they're playing on the public because Kamala Harris, when it comes to politics, it doesn't seem as though she really has anything in that department, but they're just using her to stop Trump. That's what they're doing. So they need a way to steal the election again, just like they did with Biden. And what they're doing with her is they're going to, if they decide this, they can't just steal the election. They have to steal it and have something valid to say that she actually won. And what card they're going to use is that, see, she won because everybody got excited because that's the first black woman president. You see what I'm saying? But if it's not something that they can really say that an electoral candidate actually won, then they can't really come against Trump. So they're just using her.
I was going to say the first woman president thing, we've already tried that. I don't think they're going to go that route. They already tried it. It doesn't work. I wanted to ask you, brother, do you know who Donald Trump's biggest voter base was when he ran against Hillary?
Well, the hype is that it was black people.
No.
Well, you see, I know that there's a lot of tricks in this political game. So anything you tell me, I'm game, because, I know there's a lot of foreshadowing. There's a lot of things going on that to try to hoodwink everybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't blink, because you're going to miss a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, elaborate, brother.
The biggest voter bloc in America has always been women. Women are the biggest endorsers of government. Donald Trump's, when he ran against Hillary, that's her name, it's Hillary Clinton. Both spelled with a K.
Right. Oh yeah.
when he ran against Hillary, the biggest voting bloc that turned out, which has always turned out historically ever since women's suffrage, is women, and his biggest demographic was women. So the first woman president, we've already tried it. It doesn't, well, they've already tried it. It doesn't work. More women voted for Donald Trump than Hillary Clinton. That's a reality. Now the first black president, I don't know if she's going to go with that. She may. I have no idea, because the Democrats are very, they like to race bait. And I don't participate in race baiting either. I don't think politics should be about race, because it's America. It's about all of us, instead of just trying to turn you against me and me against him, blah blah blah. But yes, so absolutely.
Are you saying that what landed Trump the presidency was women?
Yes, that's always right and exact. His biggest voter bloc, his biggest demographic were women. More women voted for Donald Trump than Hillary Clinton. The first woman president is not a viable campaign option. Donald Trump already proved that.
But you gotta remember, not only are they going to try to push this woman effort, because Hillary actually didn't win, so they still haven't had a woman to fill that zone. And also, you got to understand that they're pushing another card, the first female black president. So they're using the black and they're using women to try to take this thing away from Trump completely. It's a civil war going on. This is what people don't understand. This is bigger than just presidential elections. It's a civil war going on. The government is split in two. There's not one government anymore. There's two governments in the United States, and this is not being said very loudly. And what's the evidence of that is in 2010, right? There was a thing called the the words elude me. The words is very important too. There was a thing going on in the United States called disclosure. Have you heard about that, brother?
A thing called disclosure? No, sir.
Yes, UFO disclosure, to be specific. You never heard of UFO disclosure? That was prominent and big in the year 2010.
That was led, I don't know about 2010, but I know Donald Trump led a disclosure about what the government knows about UFOs.
No. That was small and insignificant. All they did was, first it started off with them saying to Barack Obama, do you believe in UFOs? Which he denied. And then when he became president, he was responsible for putting a UFO greeter in the White House. That's what he did. And it wasn't even said real loud. It was like, it was done so fast and with hardly any publicity that it hardly even mattered. And if you ask the average person on the street who's a voter, did you know that Barack Obama put a UFO greeter in the White House? That was laughable. So that really wasn't significant. So the big thing that happened, what they tried to cover up, I'm gonna say just a little bit more. The big thing that happened, what they tried to cover up, was there actually was a super government conference called UFO Disclosure, which thousands of participants participated. And it was covered on YouTube later on. The recorded version of it was covered on YouTube later on. And let me just briefly explain what that is. What happened is that the United States government decided to tell the people that UFOs are real and that we have been covering up incidents with the government, saying that they're not real, it was a balloon in the sky, et cetera, right? And a lot of people who follow UFOs, who are considered themselves amateur or professional ufologists, they never liked this part of the government denying the people the real understanding that there are many civilizations in the galaxy as well as the universe. But now in 2010, something big happened. The government split. A lot of people don't know this. The government split, and half the government came forward and said UFOs are real, and the other part didn't. Not only that, they had a tribunal, they had a court, and they had all the people who was on the side that UFOs are real come forward, grab the mic, stand on a podium, and give their understanding of why they are real. They begin to disclose information that was not allowed previously. And on top of that, it continued to blow up and it continued to expand. Now there's over 1 million documents that's been released to the public on the internet, substantiating that UFOs are real. But yet, in large, there's still a lot of the exposure that's still being held back. A lot of it's still being held back. So that's what I was talking about, the significance that there's a split in the government, and then there's a civil war that's on the rise. And you can see telltale signs of that every day. The shooting of Trump, which they tried to downplay. A lot of people came forward trying to downplay, saying that that was fake. But they really don't want you to know that there's a civil war in the government, and we're going to see a lot of exciting things happen in the months and years to come that you are not prepared to see.
Well, I'm going to argue that for Trump, it wasn't insignificant because based off his knowledge, he created a fifth branch of the military. And I don't think for us as one of the strongest nations in the world, we can kind of, look down on that. But I digress. A part of why Kamala is a top cop going against the good people, Kevin Cooper is my example. Kamala's support of I'm not going to say that word, the D penalty, which is a modern day form of lynching that has executed hundreds of innocent people and also disproportionately affects our people, proves that she doesn't value our lives. Kamala even advocated that an innocent brother named Kevin Cooper, who was on D-row, who's a D-row inmate and had trial, that was rooted in overt racism and corruption, be executed. She advocated for this even though Kevin had DNA evidence that proved he was innocent. Kamala opposed it until the New York State Times exposed the case. And here's the New York Times article reading, "One test could exonerate him. Why won't California do it?" And that's when they finally exonerated him. And notice, if you look at him, he's wearing an ankh. He's wearing an ankh. That's a good brother. That's a real good brother. Ain't done nothing wrong to nobody. And they proved he was innocent, and she still wanted to throw this man under the bus. It's important that we understand that the criminal justice system is built upon the legacy of chattel slavery, and its primarily role is to lock up our people to maintain a workforce or slave labor. That supplies America with an endless amount of free labor. This being said, Kamala's been a slave auctioneer sending our people to prison in order. This being said, Kamala has been the slave auctioneer sending our people to prison in order to maintain this endless supply of free labor for California. Yet some claim that she's a progressive prosecutor. How can, I'm not gonna go into that. Terrorizing our community. Kamala has a history of throwing Black folks in jail. Single mothers slaughtered. She persuaded the state legislature to adopt her harsher penalties for truancy. Under the new law, The parent or guardian of a young truant child could face a fine of $2,500 or more. And if they can't pay that, 1 year in jail. Harris pushed hard for the new law as she was running for attorney general, and it passed just as she won the election. We are putting, and I quote, we are putting parents on notice, Harris said in her 2011 inauguration. If you fail in your responsibility to your kids, we're going to work to make sure you face the full force and consequences of the law. Now, let me just remind everybody, you know, old girl don't got no kids, right?
Wow, really?
She ain't got not one kid trying to come down on parents. Verily,
Wow.
Chick, you don't know what it's like. You don't know the struggles of raising a child and what we go through as parents. I digress. Section 270.1 to the Cali Penal Code allows prosecutors to fine and or jail a parent who has failed to supervise and encourage the pupil's school attendance. Under the law, which was signed by Governor Schwarzenegger, Schwarzenegger, on September 30th, 2010, a parent could face up to a year in jail and a fine of $2,000 or more. As district attorney, Kamala launched a 3-stage program to lower the San Francisco. I'm gonna skip all of that. Jamal Truelove. Let's go into him. Jamal Truelove, a young brother who grew up in San Francisco, who was incarcerated for a slaying that he clearly didn't commit. He was framed by police for the 2007 slaying of an acquaintance. Later, on appeals court found that Kamala's office had overzealously prosecuted his case, despite there being evidence that he was innocent. Kamala knew he was innocent. They all knew he was innocent, but they were gun-ho to meet the quota. Truelove was convicted in 2010, sentenced to half a century, and imprisoned for 6 years. California Appeals Court overturned his conviction in 2014, and he was retried in 2015 and acquitted. In 2016, he turned around and sued the city of San Fran. In April 2018, a jury found that the 2 officers accused of framing him guilty of fabricating evidence. Remember, the evidence that they fabricated, they had to turn that in to your girl, Kamala, the top cop. They turned that evidence into her, Chief Quimby, and she still, even though it was goofy, even though it wasn't official, she still went along with it. Fabricated and failing to disclose exculpatory evidence. In 2019, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted to approve him a settlement of $13.1 million. Let me be clear. Let me be vividly clear. The mistake, and I'm very generous when I say mistake. The mistake that she made, the faux pas, the lack of due diligence cost the city and the state of California $13.1 million. That's a hell of a mistake.
And they'll cover it up.
Well, no, they couldn't. Well, I mean, they can probably recover it, but this is public now, and I'm going to be one of the ones to make sure that you can never cover this up. This is all wise
you
writings
know how
out.
fast people go back to sleep, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing. That's totally up to the person. But at the end of the day, when you stand before your maker, you'll say that, hey, you were told. And with that said, it's up to you what you do with that information. Criminal justice reform. In her own words, according to her book, Smart on Crime, Kamala writes, since my 2004 inauguration as San Francisco District Attorney, I've spent almost every day since working in some way or another on reforming the criminal justice system. What do her peers have to say about her reform efforts? Well, I'm going to I'll read it. Kamala's ideas of herself as a progressive prosecutor also leaves out several controversial episodes from her career in California, whereas advocates of the criminal justice reform say her office was part of the problem, not the solution. This is what her peers say. Mark Levin, the VP of Criminal Justice Policy at the Texas Public Policy Foundation, and a leading conservative voice for criminal justice reform, said, and I quote, "I don't think that the fact that someone was a prosecutor should count against them in any way. But there are quite a few areas where I think she didn't really advocate for criminal justice reform." Now, this is Jeff Adachi. I'm going to skip Jeff. This is from Judge Masulo. In 2010, a San Francisco Superior Court judge ruled that Harris's district attorney's office violated the defendant's right by failing to disclose that they knew about the tainted drug evidence. Prosecutors at the highest level of the district attorney's office knew that the technician was not a dependable trial witness, and there were serious concerns regarding the crime lab. I'm going to get into the details of that in just a moment here. But I want to say one more thing leading up to what this judge is talking about. Jury by peers. This is Judge Kaczynski. Ninth Circuit Judge Alex Kaczynski declared years ago in a much quoted opinion that there is, quote, "an epidemic of Brady violations abroad in the land." I'm going to tell you what Brady violations are in just a second. The people of California versus Efrain Somebody. In this unpublished opinion of the Fifth Appellate District, the California Court of Appeals reveals that state prosecutors and California Attorney General Kamala Harris continued to be a part of the problem. Obstruction of justice and perjury. Is this your new president? In my best Killmonger voice. Brady disclosure. Senator Kamala ignored pleas from her staff to institute a defendant's rights policy while she served as district attorney of San Francisco. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, that's what they say. Kamala took no action on memos or memorandums written by her aides in 2005, proposing that her office institute a written policy for disclosing police misconduct to defendants. That's the Brady Act. I'm sorry, the Brady disclosure is if the Attorney General finds out that the police gathered, if the Attorney General finds out that the police planted drugs or they, lied in a testimony or whatever the case may be, you have to let the other side know. Remember, she's the prosecutor, they're the defendant. You got to let the defendant and their legal counsel know these things. She said, we don't got to let them know if we've caught one of our boys lying. So that's the essence of the Brady disclosure. You got to let them know if you found somebody not playing right or lying, whatever the case may be, you got to let everybody know. The disclosures known as Brady disclosures after the 1963 Supreme Court case Brady versus Maryland were opposed by police unions. Kamala ultimately enacted a Brady disclosure policy years later, but only after a 2010 scandal involving her office's failure to disclose information to defendants led to the dismissal of 1,000 drug-related cases. The preacher done messed up the church's money, y'all. The preacher done messed up the church's money. Amen, church? Mm-hmm. Superior Court Judge Ann Musulo criticized Harris at the time for failing to disclose information that should have been disclosed. So this is what we're all talking about. This is just one of the examples. Kamala's corruption. Kern County prosecutor Robert Murray committed outrageous government misconduct. That's a quote, family. That's a quote. That's not me putting my razzle dazzle on it. That's what they said. Kamala, or in this case, Scamala, from here on out, I'm calling her. Scamala and her staff defended the indefensible. California State Prosecutor Murray flat out falsified a transcript of the defendant's confession. Kern County prosecutor Robert Murray added 2 lines of transcript to evidence that the defendant confessed to an even more egregious offense than that in which he had been charged. The already hideous offense of touching a ute. With the 2 sentences that the state's attorney Murray perjuriously added, Murray was able to threaten charges that carried a term of a life prison sentence. Capitalizing to the max on his outright lie, attorney Murray committed his own crime against the defendant at the crucial time when defense counsel was consulting with the defendant on a possible plea. Let me just break this down. What you have here, this dude commits a crime and he gets a public defender. The public defender is in bed with the prosecutor. And I don't want to take control, but I want to ask the listening audience, if everybody already knows that if you get a public defender, your public defender is in bed with the prosecutor. If you understand that, press 000. Hopefully the master students are in the building. If you understand that the prosecutor, if you get a public defender, your public defender is working with the prosecutor to get you locked up. If you understand that, press 000, because that's what happened here. The defending attorney was talking to the prosecuting attorney, and they worked together to get old boy jammed up. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? Amen, church? I'm sorry.
That's exactly what goes on in the court system. Yeah. They adjudicate you.
That's
and within that adjudication, you're already being set up. Yeah.
Kamala's corruption continued. Prosecutor Murray had ample time and opportunity to correct his transcript lies, but instead, he let it go on until the defense counsel had encouraged his client to plead guilty. The public defender encouraged their client to plead guilty based on the fabricated evidence. The public defender teamed up with the prosecutor. They created a fake narrative. The public defender goes back to the defendant and says, you might as well plead guilty because they got you. Not until after the public defender requested the original tape recording from which the transcript was made did Mr. Murray admit that he had added the most incriminating statements to the transcript. Once the defendant, he was like, why should I plead guilty? Because they got you saying this, they got you saying that. They got me saying what? Nah, pull the tape. Pull the tape, because I never said I confessed to that. I never said I touched no youth. I never said that. That's when they found out he was lying. And this is from the California Bar Journal, letting you know how big that crime was that Murray committed. This is
we know the court system practices maritime admiralty law, and in maritime admiralty law, you're going to be set up every single time. Court systems is run by money. If you ain't got the money, they ain't got the time to help you. That's your justice system right there.
Correct. So according to the California Bar Journal, it reads, the recommended suspension of Robert Allen Murray, age 41, goes into effect once it's approved by the Supreme Court. They dropped the hammer on old boy for this one. This dude right here, they dropped the hammer on him. They said, you can't practice law over here no more. We don't want you to be down with us. When confronted with the defense's motion to dismiss the indictment for outrageous prosecutorial misconduct, Mr. Murray claimed in his own false altercation of the transcript was in jest. He said it was a joke. Family, if you say that I be touching babies is a joke, what type of comedian are you? That's not funny, family. That's not funny.
Not funny at all. Yeah.
At all. It's like, oh, I was just joking around. You was just joking around.
Oh,
nah, bro.
No.
Nah, bro. It was just a joke between 2 lawyers. When he says 2 lawyers, he's talking about the public defender and the prosecuting. Nah, that's not a joke between 2 lawyers. And he said it was harmless to the defendant. Harmless? Because the public defender went back and said, you need to plead guilty so you can get life in jail. How is that harmless? Anyway, how, Sway, in my best Kanye voice. Mr. Murray lobbed in. Mr. Murray lobbed in another little bombshell for good measure, swearing that defense counsel had said that the defendant's defense was not viable. Mr. Murray's actions caused the disqualification of the defense counsel. Mr. Murray's action caused for that public defender to get thrown in the trash. And as one might expect, the defendant didn't feel that he could trust his own attorney. Public defenders are trash. Defense counsel had to testify at the hearing. The attorney-client privilege was affected. Whatever I tell my attorney is between me and my attorney has to operate in my best interest. That's the attorney-client privilege. He said the attorney-client privilege was affected and the new counsel had to be named. This is where the prosecutor's punishment. California Judge H.A. Stawley found that Mr. Murray's fabrication of evidence, falsifying the transcripts of the confession during the discovery and plea negotiations, was egregious. It was outrageous, and it shocked the conscience. She dismissed the indictment completely. And in a scathing opinion, also quoted by the appellate court, wrote that the prosecutor's actions diluted the protections accompanying the right to counsel, and it ran the risk of fraudulently inducing defendant to enter into a plea and forfeit his right to a jury by trial, a jury trial. Trial by jury, I think it's called. The court refused to tolerate, my apologies. The court refused to tolerate such outrageous conduct that resulted in deprivation of basic fundamental constitutional rights that are designed to provide basic fair. To get a public defender is the most basic of protection that you can get. It's the cheapest pair of Bobo non-name brand shoes you can buy. It's in terms of cuisine, this is a bologna sandwich. This is a public defender is ramen noodles. This is the most basic protection under the law.
Wow.
The empire strikes back. The empire strikes Kamala back. Undaunted by the criminal conduct of the state prosecutor or the district court's opinion, Kamala appealed the decision. According to the California Attorney General, only abject physical brutality, Kamala, that's right. Only abject physical brutality would warrant a finding of prosecutorial misconduct and the dismissal of an indictment. Fortunately for the Constitution, she lost again. The empire strikes back. Sit your goofy tail all the way down. I need you to have several seats, young lady. Anyway, moving on. Planned Parenthood. Because remember, this chick don't got no kids. Her womb has never had life in it, ever.
Not a mother.
She's not a mother. She's a mother, F-E-R.
Okay.
A 2015 undercover sting led to the release of a series of videos that showed top Planned Parenthood leadership engaged in the sale of A-bead fetal body parts. I'm not going to say that word. We're going to call that A-B. The videos led to a large public outcry, and a string of congressional and state inquiries followed. What's going on with Planned Parenthood was the question that was being asked. Even though everybody was asking what's going on with Planned Parenthood, Attorney General Kamala's behavior in response to this case raises some deep concerns. First, she declined to investigate any potential illegal activity on the part of Planned Parenthood, instead choosing to prosecute those who were behind the sting. The creator for Medical Progress and its founder, David Daladin, were soon at the center of a criminal investigation ordered by Kamala, which included a raid on David's home, seizing his camera equipment and 2 hard drives. 2 years after the video's release, California's prosecutors, and they searched those hard drives because people with big money in very high places, they told Kamala, don't let them expose me. They paid her.
Wow.
Is this your king? 2 years after the video's release, California's prosecutors charged Dale and an associate with 15 felonies. They threw the book at him for filming Planned Parenthood staff without their permission. The only known instance of undercover journalists being criminally prosecuted in California history. No one ever prosecuted a journalist for journalistic investigation outside of Kamala. That's never been done. Selling AB babies. However, when it emerged that Planned Parenthood and its associates had donated over almost $100,000 to Kamala's political campaign, both for Attorney General and for a seat in the Senate. Oh, no wonder you were, look at the picture I got. This is a picture of her supporting them. No wonder you support them. They were bankrolling you. This is clearly a conflict of interest. There was an outrage over the flagrant conflict of interest. Pro-life campaigners pointed out that in the same year, Kamala's department had praised undercover animal rights activists for their journalistic investigations into the abuse of poultry. So you can't defend the babies, but you're gonna defend some chickens? No, no. Fresh meat. In an unprecedented hearing in California featuring Planned Parenthood executives and the undercover videos made by the Center for Medical Progress, AB doctors revealed uncomfortable truths about the industry. In one such testimony, Forrest Smith, an OBGYN who performed ABs in California, testified not only that Planned Parenthood and other AB clinics were selling AB'd baby parts for profit. It came out, to whom it may concern, hear me now, research this later. After they did that bust on Planned Parenthood, the truth came out that Planned Parenthood, what they were doing with those babies, they were selling them. But the babies were often born alive, then terminated in order to ensure that the organs to be sold were more fresh and intact. Dr. Smith, who said he had done at least 50,000 ABs, testified that based on what he saw in the videos and what he knows about the AB industry, he believes doctors performed AB procedures so that the babies would be born alive, even though it puts the mother at greater risk. As long as there's no profit. While selling fetal tissue for profit is illegal, a 1993 law passed by Congress with bipartisan support, that means on both sides, allows women who undergo ABs to donate fetal tissue for use in scientific research. The law allowed entities supplying the tissue to recover the cost of running such a program. Only 2 states are allowed to sell baby parts: Washington, D.C. and California.
And does this go into the adrenochrome problem?
Well, I would say, let's just say riding on chrome. That's one of the words that YouTube does not favor. So just to respect the platform, yes, it goes into riding on chrome. What number are we on? You said, press
44?
Press 111, press 444 if you understand those big wigs at the top are riding on Chrome. They're riding on Chrome, family.
Big dollars in that.
Big dollars. Skamala's mom, Shamala, medical scientist born in British India. She was the mother of Skamala and her sister Maya. And remember, just like Kamala's name, her middle name is Devi, her mama's name is based on a Hindu god. All of them are named after Hindi gods. These aren't black women. These are Indian women. Moving forward. So this is Skamala's mom. This is Skamala's mom. She was at school. Well, I'm not going to go through that. But they were colonized. Because remember, I told you, Skamala is a neocolonialist. Neocolonialism, hold on, let me go back to it, because now we're going full circle. Neocolonialism, the integration of a colonized person, this was her mama, into a colonized system, this was British India, in order to enact policies of the colonizer. This is what her mama was doing before the apple don't. Ooh, Jesus in heaven, white Jesus, European Jesus, blonde hair, blue eye Jesus. The apple don't fall far from the tree. Amen, church. Amen, church.
Amen.
The apple don't fall far from the tree. So now go look at Skamala. Never forget, Skamala had held this meeting for all of her cronies, and she had people in the background looking like a scene from the movie The Help. The Help movie. It was looking like a scene from the movie The Help. When I look at this picture, I get vibes of the movie The Help. This is just it's uncomfortable to look at pictures like this. So now let's look at her mama. According to the Los Angeles Times, Shamala was a Tamil Brahmin. She was a Tamil Brahmin, part of a privileged elite in Hinduism ancient caste hierarchy. Her mama was an elitist while she was in that country. Remember, these are neocolonialists. She was working for the Aryans, warriors who arrived from the Western and Central Asia. Aryan means a noble one. They brought horses and chariots to the Indus Valley. Their religion, and they brought religion and language too. This is
6,000 languages they have over there.
Come on, somebody. So yeah. This is all happening in North India. The diametric opposite would be the Dravidians. If you look, there's this uncanny thing that the south side of every city, state, or country is black. South side of Chicago, South Bronx. A lot of these southern areas, whether it be a city or a state, the South is where a lot of your black people are going to reside at, and India is of no exception. The untouchables, as what they're called, only flooded the mainland of India and the Polynesian islands after their home island of Lemuria sunk. I'm not going to go there on this particular one, but
you're going way back.
Yeah, I'm going real deep into Lemuria, because the dark-skinned people were of a very occult, esoteric, mysterious origin. Moving on. Shamala's death. Shamala conducted research. I'm going to skip past that. Family, tell me why Shamala looked like a man. Tell me why she looked like a man. Family, press 222 if Kamala's mama looked like a man. Her jawbone looked like Captain Planet. She got the jawbone. She got the jawbone of a superhero. With that type of jawbone, it looked like she'll save the day. Look at her daughters. Her daughters don't got those strong jawbones like she do. She look like Pepe, Asian street meat. Okay, I'm being let me stop with the jokes. So her mama is a fake revolutionary. You heard it right here on Killah Priest platform. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. You heard it here first.
Yes, sir.
The New York Times said how Kamala Harris's immigrant parents found a home and each other in a Black study group. Let's read. Donald Harris and Shamala grew up in British colonial rule on different sides of the planet. They were each drawn to Berkeley and became part of an intellectual circle that shaped the rest of their lives. Now, this article, let me delete this just to focus your attention. It was written by her. I'm gonna delete that. She wrote this article. This woman right here. So it says, members of the study group that drew them together in 1962, known as the Afro-American Association, would help build the discipline of the Black studies, introduce the holiday of Kwanzaa, and establish the Black Panther Party. You a white lie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's a lie. Kamala Harris, mama and daddy, did not help build the Black Panther Party. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Amen, church?
Amazing.
Amazing.
How could they have been involved with that?
Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? That's a lie from the pits of hell.
Who put this out? New York Times? Wow.
New York Times, based on Ellen Berry. I wonder how much they paid her to write that garbage.
Bruh.
That's incredible, man.
Bruh. Absolutely. But it gets worse. Fake revolutionary. This is not Scamala. This is her mama, Shamala.
I wish Afeni Shakur was around so we could hear her opinion about that.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be a scathing opinion.
Yeah.
Shamala was a college campus lot lizard. If you know anything about lot lizards are women who sell an experience to truckers. If you're a trucker and you go to the gas station, Love's or whatever these other gas stations are, Pilot, there are going to be women selling entertainment. They're called lot lizards at the parking lot for the truck stations. These sound effects are hilarious. Shout out to AD. He is on point.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
That's right.
Shamla was a college campus lot lizard searching for Black power rallies for Black eggplant. Can somebody drop the eggplant emoji? Because that's what she was looking for. Can somebody drop the eggplant emoji? For the life of me, I personally still can't figure out what she was doing there outside of looking for the eggplant emoji. In 1963, Shamala and Donald got married, but without following the convention of introducing Harris, that was her daddy, to Shamala's parents. Because remember, she's Indian. And according to their tradition, you can't just go run off and get married. You got to introduce them to your mama and your daddy. But she knows she couldn't do that because she knows she was wrong. She didn't introduce to her parents beforehand, and she was supposed to have that ceremony in her hometown. Remember, her people believe in these type of people, not these type of people. Her husband looked like this, not like that. You ain't going to bring him to a place where they hold these people in high regard. They're going to run him out of town. She knew she couldn't bring him home. She knew she couldn't. This is all because she was ashamed and embarrassed by her infatuation that was under the guise of love. In a way, this handling of our men is similar. I'm going to skip that part. Kamala's mom's dad. This is her granddad on her mama's side. Because remember, what are we talking about here, folks? We're talking about neocolonialism. I'm going to read this one more time because we got to bring it full circle. We are dealing with third generation neocolonialism. It's a lot of words to it. The integration of a colonized person, Scamala, Shamala, and her daddy, her great granddaddy, into the colonized system. Because remember, India was colonized by the British in order to enact policies of the colonizer. Not only did she do it, not only did her mama do it, her mama's daddy did it. Her zaddy. Well, not her zaddy. That's Grandpa's what we'll call him. Grandpa was an Indian civil servant who served as director of relief, measure, and refugees in the Zambian government, especially the exodus of the refugees from Rhodesia, now called Zimbabwe. While in Zimbabwe, he served as the presidential advisor. He served as joint secretary to the Indian government in the 60s. Grandpa was a member of the Imperial Separatist Service and then a Central Service officer. Now, what I'm trying to point out to you, family, is these are all, anybody know how much all is? These are all non-elected government positions. The unelected officials, I'm sorry, here we go. This is a book. What Washington gets wrong. The unelected officials who actually run the government and their misconceptions about the American people by Jennifer and Benjamin. Her father was an unelected official. Nobody voted for him. Remember, how did Scamala become vice president? Nobody voted for you. You did not win the Democratic nomination. You did not win. Nobody voted for Scamala.
That's the scam government.
It's a scam government. Unelected. Nobody voted for her granddaddy, just like nobody voted for her. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that the whole thing is coming full circle? It's all starting to come together now. Unelected civil servants.
Plant people, that's what they do.
They plant people. So I'm going to skip over this. Well, I'm going to say this. Granddad was a career civil servant. He was clearly a part of the new British government operation that could have easily been called Hydra. A global that's right. A global takeover by sea. After they took over the people, they put agents in key roles to maintain their shadowy rule, no matter who is elected. So this right here, let me delete this to focus your attention. This is from fff.org. Though fff.org, in my particular opinion, is not a reputable source, I still believe the spirit of the article holds true. It reads, the deep state, the unelected shadow government is here. Her grandpa was a part of a shadow government. Remember, covert family. You can't make this ish up. You just can't. So now, what was her grandpa dealing with? Her grandpa was dealing with the colonizers, the provinces of India, earlier provinces of British India, and presidency towns were the admin divisions of British governance in India. India at this time was being occupied. It was being colonized. Collectively, they are called British India. They existed from 1612 to 1947, not very long ago. Initially as the East India Company. Remember, the East India Company was the same company that colonized America. Did the East India Company colonize America?
No way.
The British East India Company didn't directly colonize America. Now, this is according to Skynet. Skynet is the AI from Terminator. I'm being funny when I say Skynet, but hopefully you get it.
I mean, you know it actually exists, though, in China,
but
right?
They really do have a Skynet, though.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Ain't that something?
Ain't that something, y'all? I don't want to live in this world no more. I don't want to live here no more.
Fiction is becoming reality.
It was only a matter of time before someone got that for, controversial reasons.
Yeah.
So the East India Company did play a significant role in the American Revolution. I'll leave it at that. The same people that colonized America were the same people that colonized India. So now, when they came into India, this is the origin of thugs. It was called a thuggy. It refers to the act of the thugs, who were organized gangs of professional robbers and unalivers. The English word thug traces its roots to the Hindi word thag, which means swindler or deceiver. Related words, I'm gonna skip all of that.
Yeah, it's true though. A lot of the Sanskrit terminology somehow has floated into the English vocabulary. Yeah.
That's all wise, right, and exact.
Yeah.
Thugs are said to have traveled in groups across the Indian subcontinent. The rise of thugs came after the disbanding of the armies in employment of Indian rulers after the British conquest. Let me be clear. These are not thugs. These are veterans. These are veterans who couldn't find work after the war. After the invaders, after the British colonizers came into town and took everything over, there were two types of people. There were the people who defended the idea of India, like the thugs, and then there was Grandpa Kamala, who was defending the oppressor. Right. So now, I'm sorry. You can read about this. I'm gonna skip this part. The origin of thugs. Thugs are said to have operated as gangs of highway robbers, tricking and later strangling their victims. To take advantage of their victims, the thugs would blah, blah, blah. They would rob and bury their victims. This led to the thugs being called fassinger, English, using a noose. I find it interesting, and I'm just going to delete this to focus your attention, and I'm going to make this thing bigger. That's what she said. I'm sorry. Sometimes I can just be so ignorant. In this word, you can see Nigar, and it's alluding to a noose. I'm tired of living in this world. Elon Musk, take me to Mars. I'm tired of this world. You can't. I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Hey, babe, I'm on live with the Killah Priest podcast. Got to put some respect on KP's name, but that was my family, so I had to let them know what was going on. But anyway, moving forward. So with that said, did I do something wrong there? Yes, I did. Sorry. Okay, moving forward. Now that we have the idea of thugs and we're showing, because these are Dravidians, these are the dark-skinned ones. Let's go to.
Yeah, you know they have a strong caste system in India.
Very strong caste system.
Where the dark-skinned people are rejected.
Correct. They are the lowest rung of that caste system. And I showed a hierarchy of what that caste system looks like right here. The Brahmins are the priests, the warriors, the whatevers, and the farmers, the servants, the laborers. These right here, you see in gray, the non-Aryans. These are the Dravidians at the bottom of the caste system. This is from Guide to the Essentials of World History, Prentice Hall, 1999. So that's wow, an official. Okay. Yeah, that's all wise, right, and exact. Just want to confirm that you are correct. During the 1830s, the thugs were targeted for eradication by Governor General of India, a bunch of dudes. Contemporary scholarship is increasingly skeptical of the thuggy concept and has questioned the existence of such a phenomenon, which has led to historians describe the thuggies as an invention of the British colonial regime. It's called controlled opposition. We're going to create a boogeyman. We're going to create a bad guy. Hey guys, there's a boogeyman. You want us to get rid of the boogeyman? Ain't no boogeyman. So now, this is according to diplomat.com in an article titled The Origins of Hindu-Muslim Conflict in South Asia, which is India. In other words, most of South Asia's contemporary geopolitical and ethno-religious problems, including the Kashmir conflict, the division of British India into India and Pakistan, and communal strife between Hindus and Muslims are the result of the Western conflict. I want to make sure that we are all
very true.
In the beginning, there was no Pakistan. In the beginning, there was no Pakistan.
In the beginning.
At all. Pakistan was an invention of the British colonial regime to break down India. They found a way. First, they gave you the boogeyman. Hey, there's a bunch of thugs. You got to get rid of the thugs. Then they used Hindus versus Muslims. And the whole story of Gandhi, was based on Hinduism versus Islam. But don't nobody talk about that. But now we're dealing with Kamala and her granddaddy, who was an op for his own. Kamala's granddaddy was an op against his own people. Never forget. Never forget. It looked good from afar initially with the thugs, but after a while, it was painfully obvious that the British colonial regime was only interested in draining resources and capitalizing off the confusion. That's where Gandhi came in at. That's where Mother Teresa came in at. A lot of people got a name off that conflict, and a lot of people don't know. Most people in America don't know the history of India, and Kamala's granddaddy was perpetuating that. Here's a map. The orange part.
They don't teach it in school. That's for sure.
Ain't that something, y'all? Because it's gonna make them look bad. The British incited war and broke off the west side. They broke off the west side of India, creating Pakistan. This is what India looked like prior, and this is what India looks like now. I'm gonna delete this to focus your attention. This is India now. This was India then. That's it. All of that was India. Now only that is India. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna skip her sister. I'm gonna skip her. I think I do want to talk about her sister.
It's divide and conquer. It's the same stuff of every country. Divide and conquer.
Why change the war tactic if it ain't broke? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Divide and conquer been working very well for them. So I don't see a reason to change now. I'm gonna skip her sister. Screw that. Let's skip the sister. Let's go to Kamala's daddy. His name is Jasper Harris. Jamaican American economist and university professor. Now, number one, he's not Jamaican. Anybody born in Jamaica prior to 1962 is British. That's why a lot of British people, a lot of Jamaicans are in Great Britain because you don't need a passport. If you're in Jamaica and you were born before 1962, you don't need a passport to go to Great Britain because you are not Jamaican, you are British.
Yeah, they're all under the Queen.
They're under the Queen. When I was a kid, some kids were picking on me for the way I talk. And my mama said, you tell them you speak the King's English. And I didn't know the significance of that. So I was telling somebody from Trinidad. Well, not somebody, it was my lady. I was telling my lady. And she said, really? Because you know we speak in the islands, right? I said, no, what do y'all speak in the island? The Queen's English. In America, we speak the King's English. In the West Indies, in the Caribbean, they speak the Queen's English. If you were born in the Caribbean prior to 1962, you are British. Your birth certificate says British, not Jamaican, not Trinidadian, not any of that other stuff that you think you are, because you don't know. I'm British. I'm Jamaican. You not Jamaican. Your old tell is British.
Oh Lord.
Because if you look at the birth certificates of anybody in Jamaica born before 1962, it don't say Jamaican. But that's neither here nor there. But her daddy's not Jamaican, he's British. Anyway, British American or Jamaican American economist and university professor. He is the father of Kamala Harris and Maya. Throughout his career, Harris worked as an economic analyst and policy regarding the economy of Jamaica, his native country. He served there at various times as an economic policy consultant to the Jamaican government and as an economic advisor to successive prime minister. And this is an article about her daddy. Donald's article. This is from Jamaica Global. Kamala Harris's Jamaican heritage updated. And it says, as a child growing up in Jamaica, I often heard it said by my parents and family members, remember where you come from. To this day, I continue to retain a deep social awareness and strong sense of identity, which that grassroots Jamaican philosophy fed in me. As a father, I naturally sought to develop the same sensibility in my two daughters. Born and bred in America, Camp Kamala was the first in line to have it planted. Maya, and I guess she lost it. Maya came 2 years later and had the advantage of an older sibling as a mentor. And for them to say truthfully now, not me, what, if anything, of value they carried from that early experience into adulthood. My one big regret is that they did not come to know very well the two most influential women in my life. This is what her daddy said, that he regrets that he didn't give to his daughter. Miss Chrissy is her grandmama on her daddy's side, and Miss Iris, as everybody called them. This is, in many ways, a story about these women and the heritage that they gave us. This is what Kamala's daddy is saying. This is the highlighted part. My roots go back within my lifetime to my paternal grandmother, Miss Chrissy, descendant of Hamilton Brown, who is on record as a plantation and slave owner and founder of Brownstown, and to my maternal grandmother, Miss Iris. Moving forward. So let's talk about the lineage on her daddy's side. We talked about the India side, because remember, India was occupied by Great Britain. At that time, Jamaica was occupied by Great Britain. Everybody remember, the sun never sets on the British Empire, because Great Britain took over several countries where it was always daylight in one of their settlements. These are colonizers. Remember, their family is neocolonialist. Anyway, so this is on her daddy's side. Hamilton Brown. He was an Irish-born British sugar planter and slave owner in the St. Anne Parish, Jamaica, which he represented in the House of Assembly of Jamaica for 22 years. He gave his name Hamilton Town in the parish of St. Anne, now Brownstown, which he founded. Kamala family has a city in Jamaica. According to legacies of British slave owners at the University College London, Brown was awarded a payment as a slave trader in the aftermath of the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833. Remember, Great Britain abolished slavery 30 years before America did, with the Slave Compensation Act of 1837 just short 4 years afterwards. Brown was a prolific slave owner. Family, I don't even know what a prolific slave owner is. A prolific singer, a prolific rapper, a prolific scientist. I never knew there was a such thing as a prolific slave owner. I digress.
It's like they're praising him for being a slave owner.
Ain't that something, y'all?
It's something else.
Brown was a prolific slave owner in that context of Jamaican society and was associated with a large number of claims that he owned 1,120 slaves, mostly on sugar plantations. Brown was active in trying to recruit Irish people to Jamaica. In 1835, 121 Irish people set off to Jamaica on a brig. Crumb, ain't no slave ships. It was a brig owned by Brown. Where are the slave ships at? He owned one of them. They settled in St. Anne. In 1836, he brought a further 185 Irish people to St. Anne. An effort by planters, because remember, slavery has been abolished. So now he's going to bring in his people. An effort by planters in 1840 to encourage large-scale Irish migration to Jamaica. The first slaves were not black people, they were Irish. They're not called redneck. In America, they're called rednecks. In the islands, they're called red legs. Go back and look at Rihanna. Rihanna's daddy is a red leg. Rihanna's daddy is a red leg. One of them people that Scamala's great-great-great-granddaddy was trying to get over to the islands, Rihanna's daddy was one of them people. He was an Irish red leg. Though he do got some melanin to him, he's very much an Irish dude. I digress.
Yeah, but you got to also know that in earlier history, some of the Irish people were black people too.
That's all wise, right, and exact. That's all wise, right, and exact.
Black people pop up everywhere, bro.
Come on, somebody. Now, there, one of the founders of the Celtic culture is the Ivory Bengal lady. If you look up the ivory, this is what they draw a picture of her as, not me. And the picture that they chose for the Irish Bengal lady is a picture of Lawrence Fishburne's wife. This is a picture of Lawrence Fishburne's wife. That's not a joke, though. I gotta say that's not a joke. That's all wise, right, and exact. But anyway, so yeah, dealing with those people, they say the Ivory Bengal lady, this dark-skinned chick is, one of the progenitors of the Celtic people. I digress. An effort by planters in 1840 to encourage large-scale Irish migration to Jamaica to settle lands failed after the project was criticized in Ireland as potentially making slaves of the migrants. After he enslaved black people and they abolished slavery, he said to Ireland, hey, why don't you bring over some workers? And word got back to Ireland, these ain't workers, bruh. These are slaves. Ireland said, all right, stop it.
Wow.
Scamala. Wow. It's a scam. Scamala. Yeah.
They edit stuff.
Yeah. The apple do not fall far from the tree. It don't.
It's been proven several times.
Go back and look at that dinner that Scamala had. She looked like her great-great-great-granddaddy, Hamilton Brown, when she got the help out there in a corner. Yes, massa. According to research, this research report, Scamala's ancestors, Hamilton Brown, owned 7 plantations in Jamaica. In 1870, he employed more than 200 slaves. So that's the confirmation. 1845, Scamala's Jamaican great-grandfather, Hamilton Brown, was a rich Jamaican plantation owner with 124 slaves, more like 300. After slavery of, that was 300 Irish. After slavery of Jamaicans in Jamaica was outlawed, he illegally obtained white Irish slaves, which were later freed. Now Kamala Harris wants to be commander-in-chief of the United States and install socialism? That would make Scamala the master of hundreds of millions of slaves. And with America enslaved, she would go on to enslave the whole world, fulfilling Hamilton Brown's ultimate dream. Let me focus your attention right here. Look at this, family. Look, somebody look at this. Somebody look at this. Look in the background. Scamala is not above slave labor, if I had to guess. If I had to guess, you black people y'all better wake up. I'm gonna close on this and pass the mic, brother. Please forgive me for my time. Please forgive me, Elder. I want to give you your respect and your time. I'm gonna close on this.
I appreciate you. You've been enlightening us pretty well, though. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm your humble brother, the master student.
For real,
Obama.
for real. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Obama.
That's crazy because I think a big perspective everybody has is that, she's kind of just there to be not Trump. And a lot of people will be voting for her because she's not Trump. You know what I mean? And like,
Right.
you could basically put a potato there and it's still going to get a lot of votes because it's not Trump. You know what I'm saying? So like, a lot of people have had that perspective, but what you're saying is there's a whole agenda behind the Kamala.
Yes.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this.
It's their best move on the chessboard right now.
I was assuming Michael was the best move, but apparently it's not Michael. And when I say Michael, I mean Michelle. But hey, listen.
Well, yeah, they mentioned that a few times. Yeah. Oh Lord.
Did you get that thing all down?
Yeah.
Scamala.
Go ahead, brother.
My apologies. Scamala evokes the language of being a civil rights leader for the Black people. In her video announcement for president, she weaponized words like truth, justice, and equality. And her campaign slogan, it was that when she ran against Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination, for the people. This is propaganda, and this campaign strategy isn't something new. Rather, it follows what I refer to as the Obama plan, meaning a campaign strategy with civil rights type narrative, such as hope, that also uses all the elements of Blackness we like in order to get a Black person elected. This is a scam.
Yes, we
did. Yeah, they passed down the narrative one to another. Yeah.
This campaign uses the popular aesthetics of Blackness despite the actions of Kamala being fundamentally anti-Black. Scamala used this plan by announcing her run for presidency on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Chick, you doing too much. A day that celebrates the radical legacy of a Black man who stood for the liberation of Black lives with both an anti-capitalistic and anti-imperialistic politic. Kamala announced her run for presidency on MLK Day is meant to fool our people that she actually is for us, despite her actions terrorizing the community, our community, through her role as a prosecutor. Remember, she's a cop. It shows us how Black liberals, and I do not rock with no Black liberals. But you Black, I don't care. Black liberals will weaponize the aesthetics of a freedom fighter in order to strengthen the US colonial empire. But let me just drop this one last bomb on you. The Indonesian background. Scamala is not the first Indian who came playing Black. Let me say it one more time. Kamala Harris is not the first Indian who's acting like she's or he is Black. Barack Obama's real name is Barry Soetoro. Kamala is not the first Indian in the White House. Obama was. Obama was a full-fledged Hindu Muslim Indian. Family, you can't make this up. You can't make this up.
You're going to start a revolution on social media, bro.
Last point. Because remember, everybody was comparing Scamala to Lisa Simpson. Lisa Simpson, Kamala Harris. So in this picture, I should have put this in a PowerPoint. In this picture, you're going to see Lisa Simpson wearing pearls. You're going to see Scamala wearing her pearls, looking pretty in purple, blah, blah, blah. This whole pearls and purple. You know, the Simpsons predicted the pearls and the purple. Now, the Simpsons predicted that the first woman president would be this woman wearing this purple. And remember, if Scamala becomes president, she's not going to beat Trump. I may be wrong, and y'all can use this Killah Priest thing to prove me wrong. But if I had to guess, the only way the Simpsons prediction will be true is if Joe Biden, if Joe Bot, if that cyborg breaks down. But here's what I'm going to say, and I'll rest my case. Revelations, the book of Revelations, chapter 17, verse 4. It reads, "And the woman who was dressed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and precious stones like pearls precious stones and pearls, holding in her hand a golden cup filled with abominations and the filthiness of her whoring. Now, I want to make this one last point. Never forget, when she was 25 years old, dag nabbit, when she was 25 years old, she was sleeping with a man who was 60. When she was 25 years old, she was sleeping with a man who was 60 for political gain. This is all going to be seen in Revelation 17, Revelations chapter 17, verse 4. And with that said, I rest my case. Amen, church.
Well said. Well said. A lot of information has been exposed this evening via this brother here. Why don't you say your name out there again, brother?
I am your humble brother Crumb, the master student.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Crom, that's very well done, brother. Yes. This narrative about Kamala Harris definitely has shed a lot of light. I don't think anybody out there had all this background information. Wow.
Yeah. That's what Crumb does. Crumb goes in.
Yes,
he leaves you crumbs of knowledge.
For real, for real.
That's what's up. Man, I'm going to have to do like what I always do, or at least I do lately, is clip that whole segment of your presentation and make that a separate show, a separate video. Because the last time we did that, it got a lot of, it was just your presentation segment that segmented it out. And it had so much success, man. So we're definitely going to do that again. We're going to segment
Somebody mentioned that. Somebody mentioned a few weeks ago, I happened to come across on YouTube that Indonesian presence is becoming more stronger in United States politics all the time. Have you noticed that, Crom?
Say that one more time, please.
Yeah, someone mentioned it came across my internet the other day. Somebody mentioned that East Indian presence is becoming more dominant in American politics every day. Like, there are a lot of people in politics today representing different offices, different political offices that are coming forth, and they are turning up as East Indians. Yeah. For instance, there's a East Indian gentleman, I wish I can remember his name. He was on Pharaoh. You remember Pharaoh, the brother? He's just now starting to bring us his presence again. Pharaoh was working with them a lot. And shout out to Pharaoh. He was out there bringing out some East Indians too during 2020. He was very heavily involved with them. And they introduced this man, you can look him up. He created the email that we have. If you look into India, you're going to find that there's some brilliant technology coming out of there. A lot of brilliant technology. And a lot of people, they don't cover this thing in the United States media. It's like hitting, like the curtain of Russia. They actually are going to the moon. East Indians have piloted rocket ships to the moon. And according to the commercial part of that, the United States is impressed with their ability to save a lot of money. Like they spend way less money and get the same results, if not better, in their space program over there. Like you never hear about this. Like they never talk about that. Like you would think that the United States was the only one going into outer space. And it's just not true. Then you have other technologies that come out of there. There's so many. Like I mentioned another one. They have this water filter that cleans the water. I heard Bill Gates went down there, and Bill Gates has a lot of influence in India. So this is more of an exchange also. And then you also have they went over there to India and tried to sell East Indians on their herbicide and pesticides, which they have done to ruin American farming. And now you see how it has parlayed up into today, where we have all these fake fruits and vegetables coming out on the market. It's a known fact that America, all over the world knows that America has fake food. And if you go to Germany and you go to other countries like Germany and Russia, that's banned, which means that America will make less money off of those countries because they don't want anything to do with that fake food that America is selling on the market. And you know that a country has to stay involved with trade in order to survive on this planet. A country must be able to have its resources and be able to trade across the globe. And that's how pretty much everybody stays up. Like China makes things, as you know, when you was a child, there was things made that said on the back of it, made in Hong Kong. Well, that's the ability to have something to bring abroad to save. Now, America's dollar has been cut and America's food has been cut. But India also has something called the Bloom Box. The Bloom Box is very powerful technology. It's way better than a generator. It makes no noise. It requires no electricity. And if you set that up in your home, when there are blackouts and stuff, you will still have electricity, and the Bloom Box has no expiration date. So, you know, there's a lot of things that's covered in India as far as that goes. And there are wise people over there. I don't want people to get the impression that crime was downing people in India. And, you know, because you can find corruption in any country. I know that in Africa, there's a lot of corruption over there. Because why? We have the internet today. And the internet is something that most of these political people never wanted to happen, because it's compromising the integrity of their lying in the United States. Because all you got to do is go on Google or Snapchat or YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and you're going to find out there's another story. And that was never supposed to happen. So you got to see that the internet is a blessing. Social media is a blessing because it's going to keep revealing truths that are turned into lies in the United States and abroad. So then you have also I've spoken to people directly in Africa because of social media. Once again, they can reach out to you and they can talk, and you can have conversations with anybody on the planet because of social media. And this is once again the internet, which a lot of people wish never happened, but they represent a small demographic of the people, because most people do appreciate the internet. But they also have political tyranny going on in Africa, in China, in Russia, and all over the world. There is political tyranny going on. And, you know, it's up to us as people to stand against this, like this brother Crom just did tonight. He blessed us with a lot of information. I know a lot of us would have been still in the dark if he didn't do this tonight. So you understand that he's creating a social evolution, a social revolution, by just coming out and blessing us with this enlightening information that we just received tonight. So it's always good to build and get information. I can tell, brother, that this is your passion as well, because you are so involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that you stay hungry, and that's important to find information, because, you know, you got to keep looking, you got to keep searching, you got to keep revealing, you got to keep uncovering, you got to keep letting people know what's important. You see what I'm saying? And bro, we are in a consciousness in this world such as I have never seen before. And, you know, it's just a blessing to have social media and to see all these different understanding. I was on the internet the other day, and I was over there in Manila. in the Philippines. And I'm like, man, I don't take this for granted. This is incredible, bro. I mean, this could never happen before. You would be charged an arm and a leg if you called Manila back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Long distance and all these companies, MCI, AT&T, and all these other companies out there, Verizon, taking your money just to have information come from the telephone call. But now that's over, brother. That's completely over. Social media is definitely opening a lot of doors and making a lot of things happen. You know, that this was definitely something that was long overdue, because we as people will not be blinded. And though there is still a lot of people out there asleep, we see a steady continuance of people waking up. They're constantly waking up and they're constantly finding out things. Like the main thing that bothers me, Crum, is this food. Man, this food bothers me a lot, bro. It's garbage. And, you know, we are a community of people that's totally into garbage food. And, you know, that's war right there. That's an attack on us, man. A family has to eat. And that same family that's eating this garbage has to go to school. They have to get educated, you know, and they have to feed their family. You got to feed your children garbage until they grow up. I mean, it's an insult to us as people to wake up in the morning and eat a box of some crazy cereal in the morning. I mean, that is just, you know, and it seems normal. It seems normal to wake up in the morning and pour that in a bowl. That seems normal. I mean, that is not breakfast. Breakfast means you breaking your fast. You're going to break your fast with a bowl of sugar? That's how you break your fast? And then the number one drink is coffee? Coffee is acid. That's not doing nothing for your health. Sugar is acid. All this acid going into your system, no nutritional value. The food is supposed to be your medicine. The food is supposed to neutralize you. The food is supposed to impregnate your body with vigorous vitality and health. And you got some kind of beast out there that's destroying our land, that we can't even grow healthy food. And then the Industrial Revolution has come into the hell revolution, where we are constantly being bombarded with technology. Technology is great, but you're taking that technological revolution and turning it on people, murdering them and killing them and destroying them. And the message from Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was horrific. They're telling you, vote for me so you can have the right to abort your child? What kind of rhetoric is that? Why the hell are we trying to kill ourselves? And we don't see that? We don't see that she just said that? That is alarming. That is super crazy. That's what I'm going to vote for you for? What about to help my children? What happened to that? We're feeding our babies Similac? What the hell is that? That's nothing from nature. All animals, and humans are animals. Don't get it twisted. We are animals. Because we're more intelligent doesn't mean we're not animals, man. Because we're more intelligent and we have hands, we are more stupid than animals than ever. If we allow people like this to dictate what we're supposed to eat and give us garbage for breakfast, what good is to be the greatest animal on the planet when all animals drink their mother's milk, but we don't drink our mother's milk? That's backwards as hell, man. We don't drink our mother's milk? What kind of craziness is that?
What part of the game is that?
That's causing you to weaken the seed that's coming after you. That's going to weaken your vessel. And then your children, your offspring, is going to become weak. You see? Someone is trying to destroy us. That's what's going on, man. And we need to wake up and see what that destruction is. We need to look that destruction in the face, and we need to come out and speak about that, man. You're supposed to drink your mama's milk. Why do you think a pregnant woman's breasts fill up with milk? So you could just put it to the side? What kind of mother doesn't breastfeed her child? But see, if your child grew up on Similac and Infamil or cow milk, your mother's not a cow. And then you miss that opportunity to get that essential power, that elixir of life, that immune builder, that vitality builder from your mother. In turn, that child's going to grow up and give her child fake milk. That's what that is. It's going to continue to go on. Cats immediately go to their mother for milk. And we're supposed to be better than kittens and cats. And we giving our children artificial junk. I was happy in 2021 when there was a Similac and Enfamil shortage. I was like, this is a blessing. Something is happening good. They can't go get it. They can't go to the store and get no more. Good. I hope it stay down. I was glad when that happened. I don't know if y'all remember that. They were complaining on the news. There's no Similac. There's no Enfamil. Yeah, a formula for destruction. That's what that is. Why are we going to the store? I mean, it started in the 70s and 80s. Mothers was boiling bottles on the stove, purifying the bottle for their little sacred child, for their child. Why are you boiling bottles? Pull out your breast and feed your child. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pull out your breast and feed your infant with the milk that the infant was raised with, man. Then you start going to the store buying Gerber and beech nuts. You don't know what's in that stuff. You know how many times I've watched the news and there was a recall on the baby food because they found out it was poison? How many times they got to do that before you realize my baby can't eat that?
Oh,
and yet you still go to the store and you still trust those products? I wouldn't trust that for nothing in the world. A baby shouldn't eat that. A baby should not eat that, man. Why can't you go get a blender, put the fruits and vegetables in the blender, blend it up, and feed your baby homemade baby food? All it is food that they don't have to chew. That's all it is. All you're doing is preparing the food that the baby can't chew. When the baby starts chewing it, then you making sense. Now you're giving your baby something you blend. You know what the ingredients are because you made it. You don't have to worry about poison in it. I wish all mothers would hear this message and stop giving their baby other animals' milk. There's no animal on earth that drinks another animal's milk. If a lion went to another animal or another animal went to a lion for milk, it'd get killed. Yeah, the lion be there. Come on, get it. Come on, get it. Get a little closer. Yeah, that's it. There's no milk. You just became my meal and my children's meal. It don't make no sense, man. It's something very simple. No animal drinks another animal's milk, man. And we want a president that wants us to vote so we can have the right to kill our unborn child. Do you know that it was mentioned on the news that more black people die in their mother's womb than any other form of death? That was said on the news. No children, black children, are more in danger of being murdered in their mother's womb than any other form of death. That's terrible, man. That's terrible, man. Why do we want to kill our children, man? Why do we want to kill? Why would you kill your child? Because you were made psychologically to believe that having a child is bad. You were made to be ashamed of yourself and your unborn children. That shame is not in Africa. That shame is over here in the US, where they're trying to destroy you. I wouldn't trust Planned Parenthood. They're planning to kill your child. Planned Parenthood wanted more abortion. And you're going to take them prenatal pills? Do you even know what's in that? How can you trust a foundation that stood behind abortion and call themselves Planned Parenthood? You don't see this as a scam? And every politician that they put in that office is on to that. They got mad because Trump said he's going to rule against abortion. And you say he's a clown. You say you don't like him. Well, you know what? I don't trust people too much, but that sounds like a better deal to me, bro. I don't really trust a lot of people, but that sounds like a better deal to me. I want a politician that say we're going to stop all of the fake food market. Ramen noodles is poison. And I see people piling up their shopping carts with that garbage. I say, where is the nutrition? When do you do nutritional things? Get some fruit in that cart. What is with that? And stop doing plastic. We have to become aware that plastic is poison. Demand that your water be put in a bottle, glass bottle. Why are we acting like we ran out of glass? How do you run out of glass? You can't run out of glass no more than you can run out of water. And they used to tell us in the 70s and 80s, we're running out of water. How could you run out of water with a planet that's 80% water? And then what they failed to tell you is they have machines that you can put in your backyard that changes air into water. There should be, and they have ones that you can put on the countertop. That's right. You have machines that takes the air and changes it into pure drinking water. And you buying water in a plastic bottle. Stop drinking plastic. And they said that the plastic ruins the organs that's in your body. Another way to kill you. Not only are you aborting your baby, they're trying to abort you, the human adult. They're coming for you. And this is not just an attack on black people. This is an attack on all people, because everybody goes in a supermarket and buys them plastic bottles of water. Everybody goes in a supermarket and buys that fake food. We got to start talking about some policy when these politicians start talking about destroying bad food. Stop giving us bad food. Why would we have to eat bad food? Is there a food shortage? Prove it. Show me where there's a food shortage that we got to eat that. Listen, if you can't provide the food, then make deals with other people. I seen a guy on TikTok the other day that he said, y'all tired of eating fake meat? Well, here, I sell real meat. Here's my number. Call me. He had a whole business selling real meat. Then I saw a commercial on TikTok where they're growing a lump of flesh in the back of the restaurant. How convenient. They grow the flesh, then they cut it up in pieces and make sandwiches for you. Chicken sandwiches, hamburgers, everything. It's not even from an animal, bro. And we tolerate this. We tolerate this. We want to do it, man. You have to eat to live, man. You don't live to eat. You have to eat to live. You need real food, and you need to be conscious. But you see, they don't want you to be conscious of what's good for you, because then the hospitals will lose business. You are being set up to become a victim, to become a patient in a hospital. And the hospital does not heal you. Heal is a word that's not allowed to be used. Did you know that? You're not allowed to use the word heal. If you come out with a commercial and you say this will heal you, you will be in the court and they'll be sentencing you with some kind of fine or jail time. Why is that? How is the word heal a bad word? But you can't say it. You can't say heal. You got to find a way to speak now. You got to change the way you talk. This has been known to help people. That's what you got to say. You can't straight up and say, no, this will heal you. Then, because you have to be careful too. Don't say it, because they'll set you up. They'll set somebody up. They'll come up with a fake person who got hurt by your product, and then you in court, and then they'll shut you down. That's right. So don't jeopardize yourself. If you know that it heals, you still can't say it. You can't come out and say that it heals, because they're not going to let you do that, man. They're not going to let you do that. And now you don't want to do it because they got you trapped. They got you trapped with that. So they got all these fake medicines. They're making billions of dollars off of drugs. But yet the FDA came out and said all drugs are poison. Yeah, they made that statement. All drugs are poison. The FDA said that. Look it up. Fact check that. They always want you to do this fact checking. Check that out. All drugs are poison. You're going to poison yourself back to health, right? You're going to poison yourself back to health. Good luck with that.
Drugs are bad.
And when you go to the hospital, and you're looking for help, they either want to drug you or cut you. Do you know that if a woman goes to the hospital in labor, the doctor gets $15,000 if he gives her a C-section? That means cut her belly open. But if it's natural birth, it's around $2,000. What you think your doctor going to tell you? Think about it now. He can make $15,000 off of you, or he can make $2,000. Natural birth. You swear? Do you think they're telling you the truth? Do you think they're being real? You think they're being honest when they tell you need a C-section? When he's about to cash in on $15,000, he's gonna get that bag, man. He's gonna go for that bag, and he's gonna lie to you, the mother. And at that point, you're like, do anything, because labor is hard. You're gonna be stressed. You're gonna be frustrated, and they tell you that, all right, and they want you to sign so that they're not responsible for what happened. That's right. And do you know it's been fact checked that a child born of a C-section is mentally unstable throughout their life? They're having problems that they don't even understand. Sometimes they think that they're lost. Sometimes they feel like they don't fit in. They have psychological problems because of a C-section. Think about that now. We're already having psychological problems because women are what? They're being given drugs, prenatal care. Why do you think they're giving you drugs? I'm going to go heavy. I'm going to go deep. The reason why they're giving you those drugs, the reason why they bringing your food down to zero quality, zero nutrition, is because they're after something. You know what they're after? I'm going to use words that they ain't banned yet because they don't even know this is coming up. They're after your pineal gland, brothers and sisters. They're after your pineal gland inside your head. You know what the pineal gland was called? By certain people, it's called the third eye. And if you think that that's myth, if you think that that's something to do with fiction, they cut the human brain open and they found the eye inside the head. Yes, they did. You can look this up. It's called the eye of Horus. The eye of Horus is in the brain, and it looks exactly like the Egyptian symbol that they found in Egypt, that they found among the Egyptian gods. Yes, when you start to go into Horus and the other Egyptian gods, they have a symbol called the eye of Horus, the medulla oblongata, the pineal gland. What else do they call it? The Christ eye. Yes, because it activates the Christic power. We're all Christ. It activates the Christic power. Look this up. It's in the front lobe of the brain. And if you eat a healthy diet, well, let's first start off with an unhealthy diet. If you have an unhealthy diet, the pineal gland gets calcified, especially by sugar. That's right. You acidose that acid that's going into your brain, that's crystallizing your blood, meaning your blood doesn't flow anymore in your veins because of sugar. You shut down all the organs because of sugar. You cause your skin to age faster because of sugar. Your brain stops functioning at its full brilliance and capacity because of sugar. High fructose corn syrup, a worse form of sugar, which is in more products of garbage that you can select in the grocery store aisle. If you shut that down, then the people are less conscious, more like zombies, you see? And this is the work that are going on because people, you are feared. They fear your uprising. They fear you becoming conscious. They are afraid that you are going to take back your life and see. That's right. What is seeing? Something that comes from the pineal gland. That's right. Look up Jacob in the Bible, who slept in pineal. How did the word pineal gland get in the Bible? You see, it's there. The word cherubim, an angel, is talking about the cerebrum. That's your brain. The Bible's written in code. They wasn't trying to get you to join a religion. They were trying to get you to understand consciousness, that you have an aura of light around your body. That's what the Bible was for. But if you let somebody come in and commandeer your book that you call the Holy Bible and start to change the narrative of what this book was trying to tell you, that's how we lost. You see? It's called global amnesia. You see? And the garbage they're feeding you is to maintain that amnesia. You see what I'm saying? So while you're eating all this garbage, you're shutting down the pineal gland, which the ancient people called the seat of the soul. That's right. And what is your soul? You have no idea. This soul that you have in you, you heard it so many times. Soul music, soul food, soul brother. You done heard this word your whole life, especially in church. But nobody tells you what it is. It's the thing that gives you power over your life. And the only way it can get to you is through the pineal gland. When the soul relaxes, it sits in your head and gives you sight. That's right. Jesus said, eyes have they, but they see not. What was he talking about? I thought you were seeing. I thought you could see. You can see me, right? No, that's not what that word means, see? The word seeing is a different type of sight. It's not looking. We're looking every day. You're looking at the Killah Priest Podcraft right now. That's not the same thing, brothers and sisters. So you have to start understanding that word called seeing. You see? It's not the word look. That's why he said it like that. Because when you see, no one can lie to you. Yeah, you can see right through a deception. You can see things, and it's hard to relate this stuff because it's not looking. It's hard to understand this stuff because when you start using a terminology that doesn't relate to your everyday terminology, it's because you are not a seer. So you get lost in the sauce. You get lost in the words. You say, what is he talking about? Because you don't know your soul. And you don't trust your soul. Your soul is your guide. Your soul is your overseer. Notice how I said seer. Because your soul is how you see the world. You can't survive down here without your soul. That's why most of us are on drugs. We're allowing these doctors to manipulate us when we come into the hospital and to the clinics because we don't have our soul. The last thing that they want you to do is gain your soul. That's why church is fake. What do they tell you in church? They tell you in church, pray. No. Praying is not the way. That word is also taken out of context. Meditation is what you're supposed to do. Why? Because meditation is how you link up with your soul. Your soul is not connected. Your soul is not connected. Anytime you watch those martial arts movies back in the day, the old ones that's free on YouTube, because those movies were showing you somebody who's practicing chi. What is chi? That's the energy of the soul. See, when you go into other countries, the language changes, so you don't understand what they're talking about. Organ energy. What is that? You heard of organ, right? That's the thing that you get from your soul. Yes. You see, you have to understand that religion is not teaching your soul. Tell me out there who in your church the preacher gives you 2 hours or 3 hours talking about your soul. Jesus said, in your patience, possess ye your soul. In your patience, possess ye your soul. What does it mean, patience? You mean that if I wait for the doctor to call my name, patience? If I stand on the bus stop and don't complain when the bus is late, is that the patience you're talking about? No, that's nonsense, man. It takes patience to be still. That's another thing that Jesus said. He said, be still and know that I am God. When do you be still? Can y'all answer me that, brothers, sisters? When do you be still? When you're meditating. Meditation people are not walking around. They are still. They're tuning in. They're going into the channel, the station of their soul. That's right. When you are still, you are channeling and you are communing with your soul. Your soul doesn't operate when you're moving around. That's why he said you have to be patient to possess it. Do you possess it? You don't possess it. Because if you did, you would be a shining light right now. That's right. You would shine so bright that Jesus said a candle cannot be hidden in a bush. Because he's talking about your soul. You see? He's saying, eyes have they, but they see not. He said, be still. In your patience, possess ye your soul. That's your whole power. When you meditate, this is what happens. This is your soul, and this is you. While you're meditating, it's coming together, coming together, coming together, coming together. Don't stop. You're going to succeed. Just keep meditating. Keep meditating. You want to know how to meditate? Look it up. This is the information age. This is the age where millions of people are on Google, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. They're teaching meditation. Don't ignore these people. These people are teaching you. Now, if this kind of information is attractive to you, then go out and learn to meditate, brothers and sisters, because Jesus was teaching meditation. Church is not going to tell you that. There's probably some church people hitting this podcast up right now, talking about, oh, that brother don't know what he's talking about. Yeah. So why did Solomon say, the eye is not satisfied with seeing? What was he talking about? Watching Megillah Gorilla on television? Watching Star Wars in the movie theater? You never get tired of watching? I think people are tired of watching this world, brother, because they're sick and tired of it. Seeing is not watching. Seeing is not looking. He said, the eye. He said, the eye. It's not written plural. It's written singular. That's one eye, the eye of Horus. Go look on Google. If you put in the eye of Horus, they're going to show you the brain. They're going to show you it cut in completely in half because you have two brains in your head. You have the left hemisphere and you have the right hemisphere. And in the center is the medulla oblongata, the eye of Horus, the all-seeing eye. How many of you heard of the all-seeing eye? It sees. These eyes don't see, brother. This eye sees. See what I mean? So also it says that Jacob slept in the place of pineal. When he activated his pineal gland, he saw things he could see, and he began to see visions because Jacob was meditating. They don't want to tell you that part. They want to keep that from you. Keeping you blind is what's going on here. If you weren't blind, you would never fall for politicians. If you weren't blind, you would never fall for the lies and the rhetoric and religion and all this other nonsense that we are dealing with every day. You would see it. You would notice that in every movie, you can't find a movie where they don't show you one eye in a scene. Just watch the movie. Sometimes the movie opens up with one eye. Why is that, brother? They never explained this. You go and watch them get an Oscar, great actor, great supporting actor. But why is every movie, whether you're watching the Avengers or any kind of movie, there's that one eye? Why does, and they love to put the brother on Nick Fury with his one eye patch. Oh yeah. Because every time, I'm going to tell y'all something, there's a language of the soul. That's right, AD. There's a language of the soul that when you see one eye, a part of you becomes activated, whether you want to or not. Just like when you are still at night, your soul becomes active. That's why you dream And that's why you experience things you can't explain when you wake up. Because when these eyes are closed, brothers and sisters, this eye opens. When these eyes are closed, this eye opens. It's automatic. You are so activated when you sleep, but unfortunately, that's not enough. You have to wake up and be actively participating with your soul. That's right. You have to wake up and participate with your soul. That's where meditation comes in. And during meditation, you don't close your eyes when you meditate. You never close your eyes when you meditate. Why? Because now your soul is active with your eyes open. And you're going to shift your awareness. All of a sudden, you're going to see, not just look. You see what I mean? Meditation is the continuity of bringing soul and body together. That's what it is. The more you meditate, the more your soul and your body will come together. You need this. No one will lie to you again. No one will deceive you again. And guess what? The younger you start, the more powerful you'll be. Start now. Don't wait. Man, if I'd have known this knowledge when I was 18, 15, I would be way, way, way ahead of where I am right now. But I am utilizing this time right now to do the things that are necessary for me to do. They don't want to open your third eye. How many of y'all go on YouTube and see all them videos talking about listen to this just to open your third eye? That's not a joke, brothers and sisters. There are many ways to accumulate the same effect. Music, that's why the music in this world is polluted. Your favorite jam, they know how to go into music and change things so that you hear the sounds that you love, but you don't receive the benefits. This is what Mozart knew. This is what Chopin knew. This is what all of those classical music positions like Eric Satie, all of these people, they understood this. And David in the Bible removed demons from Saul with music. Don't sleep, y'all. Don't sleep. I tell you, that Bible is not what you think it's about. That Bible is not what you think it's about. Religion has taken over the narrative of what that Bible is, and they're not teaching half the things that's in it. They're not teaching half the things that's in it. It's forbidden knowledge. The Bible is telling you about reincarnation. That's forbidden in church. The Bible is telling you about astral projection. That means you have control over your soul. What Jesus was saying, in your patience possess your soul. You can't astral project unless you possess your soul. You can't. Jesus said, let your two eyes become one. Don't use these. Use the one eye, and ye shall be whole. That's a riddle. Come on, you going to tell me you understood that right away when I said it? Jesus said, let your two eyes, these are the two, become one, and ye shall be whole. Jesus was a master shaman. You don't even know that. He was, how do you think he got all those powers? Oh, because God gave it to him. Who's God? The Bible says you are God. You probably didn't know the Bible said that. The Bible says, look up these scriptures. Know ye not that ye are God, but ye shall die as men. It prophesies that you will lose your understanding of your soul. That's why you die. Now you're a regular man. You're a regular man. Because you forgot about your power, your soul. Even witches know about the soul. Satanic worshipers know about the soul. But here's what they're not telling you. The soul is power. Power doesn't matter if you're doing evil or you're acting out of love. You can take power. Power doesn't discriminate. It's just as if I have a gun, right? If I take that gun and I get justice, I protect you. They say, oh, he got a gun. He got our side. He got our back. And I go, pow, pow, pow. And I'm shooting all the enemies. And y'all like, oh, we're safe. We won. We're good. I can take that same gun and I can shoot the president like they did in 1965. I can take that same gun and I can kill good people. You see? It ain't the gun. It's who got the gun. Power is the same way. I can execute power and hurt people. That's right. I can hurt anybody with power, or I can help people with my power. You see? Power comes in many forms. It ain't just one type of power. The power to speak is a power. The power to come before people is a power. You don't think it's a power? There are people who will not come up here and do this. They are afraid. They lack another power, confidence, another power, courage, another power, the ability to speak. Until you lose your voice, you don't appreciate that you have one. These are powers, man. The power to heal, that's another power. You don't necessarily have to heal. When people heal with their hands, they possess their soul. When you say, you can't heal with your hands, that's because you don't know your soul. You got to get to know the power that's with you. Your soul is your personal power. That's right. You don't have it. No one can die for you, brothers and sisters. I know you've been told that. Die for your sins. No. You are responsible. See, this is how they corrupt you. Tell you that you can be evil and corrupt, but now it's okay because somebody died for you. No. You're responsible for what you do. And trust me, there's a lot of people in jail that know that. So if you could just get away with everything, why are they in jail? Can you tell me that? Why does a brother get revenge and shoot his brother? Well, because his brother just shot his friend. If you could get away with everything, then why is there justice? Why do we need justice? Why are these prison systems? It doesn't make sense, brother. Look, if you're poor, you got to find some money. You're responsible for that. You're always responsible. If you're sick, you need a physician. You need a healer. You're responsible for that. You're responsible for everything in your life. And you know what happens when people, what they did in this country, they psychologically disarm people from common sense. Common sense is not so common. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Common sense is not common. You are responsible for everything you say, everything you do. You are responsible for every action that you make on planet Earth. That's right. There is a reap what you sow. That's very true, brothers, sisters. So if you sow love seeds, you shall reap love in return. You see? Plant the seeds of love and you receive love. Plant the seeds of cruelty, abuse, hatred, evil, you're going to receive abuse. And you don't think it's right when it's coming back at you. But you blame somebody. You know why? Because you don't look at your resume. That's right. It's for your eyes only, not for me. Look at your resume. Look at your past. Look at how you've been living and expect those things back. That's how you be responsible. But now you got Jesus, you don't have no responsibility. That's nonsense, brother. Sister, don't let nobody fool you like that. They talking to you like you stupid. You are responsible for doing drugs. Where's drug addicts? Laying in the street, homeless. Yeah, there are people homeless. There are people in the street for different reasons. But drug people are not trying to get off the street. They're lost. Waiting for somebody to save them. That's real loss right there, waiting for somebody to save you. Why are there people going out working? Because they're not waiting on somebody. Why are there people going out helping themselves? Because they're not waiting on somebody. Brother, you have the wherewithal, you have the power, you have the ability to reach any level of success that you deem necessary to your life. Your soul will carry you. Everybody got a soul. That's why you can be responsible. Because your soul can protect you from anything, but you got to connect. You see, and this is what they're doing. They're disarming you. Remember when you had presidents and politicians telling you to turn in your gun so they can make you defenseless against somebody coming down on you with weapons of war? They tell you, give your gun away. Now you can't protect yourself, right? Well, they're telling you to give your soul away. That's right. How do you tell somebody to give their soul away? One, you ban the knowledge of soul. The only way you heard the word is James Brown said it over and over again in a record. Then you heard about soul food. You know, if you hear the word soul in those instances, it doesn't sound very important, does it? No, because it makes it, you take the word for granted. This is how they take your soul, brother. This is how they kidnap you from yourself. You abandon yourself when you abandon your soul because you left yourself wide open with no defense. Your soul will protect you, but you got to make a relationship with that soul. And brothers and sisters, if y'all knew the soul like some people do, let me tell you something. It has a personality. It will even talk to you. You don't know that because it's nonsense to you. It's not making sense. And you know that people who have found their soul didn't understand. They weren't prepared for their soul to talk to them. They thought that they were possessed by a demon. Yeah, that can happen. If your soul reveals itself to you in the middle of the night, and it usually happens around that time, you'll see light and you'll run and scream because you're not prepared. You don't understand that the scariest thing is not a horror movie. It's you. The scariest thing is not a man coming at you with a gun or a knife. It's you. You are more scary than you know. That's why you need to get acquainted with yourself on purpose, because the soul has scared us millions of times. You know why you're scared of your soul? Because you've been told to be scared of ghosts. You watch TV, you watch movies, you watch soap operas, you watch cartoons, and everybody goes, oh, ghosts. First of all, brother, we are ghosts with a body. You see a ghost without a body, now you running. The ghost don't want you, but he knows that you are ignorant because you ran. Our forefathers talked to ghosts. Our forefathers dealt with spirits. Our forefathers were with their self. You abandon yourself because you know not yourself. You know not your soul. Jesus taught to take care of your soul. And if you think Jesus is the only one that was doing all of those miracles, walking on water, dividing fish and bread, feeding the masses, healing sick people. He said that's not true. He himself said that's not true. He said, the things that I do, you shall do, and greater. And let me tell you how the church fooled you. They said you got to wait for Jesus to come back. Oh my God, that is the worst thing you could tell somebody. Jesus did not tell you to wait for him to come back. When it says wait, that's synonymous with patience. When you start meditation, you ain't going to do the things Jesus did overnight. That's why he impressed upon you to wait. That's that patience again. In your patience, possess ye your soul. He was telling you to go for the gold. Go for the soul. I press towards the mark of the high calling of God in Christ. Why? Because if you're not meditating, then you're not pressing towards anything. If you're not meditating, you're not seeking your power. You're not seeking the spirit. You're not seeking the Lord. All this is about the soul, brother. I'm trying to tell you, this is about the soul. How come they were able to do those things in the Kung Fu movies? Because you saw, if you watch, you saw them meditate and then become powerful martial artists. Brother, you can't do nothing without the soul today. If you don't depend on your soul, you'll be getting minimum wage because your soul will make you rich. It will make you rich. Why do you think the Bible tells you that Solomon was rich? Why do you think the Bible tells you that Abraham was a multi-billionaire? A lot of y'all don't know that. But the scholars know, the Bible scholars know that Ibrahim, was a billionaire. And that the people of that town begged him to take his business away from them because they were going broke. He was like Walmart pulled up and all the small stores fell down. Yeah, Abraham. But what did Abraham do? He meditated. See, this is the part they don't want you to know. They don't want nobody in church meditating. They tell you to take meditation for a joke. But you sitting in the church singing and dancing. You're not meditating. Men like to run their mouth. They like to read. They read the Bible. You cannot get the Bible reading. Jesus said, the things that I do, you shall do, and greater. How do you think you can? He said greater. You can surpass me, because he was humble. You see? How are you going to get to the level of Jesus if you don't meditate? You're not meditating. You're going to lose if you don't meditate. I'm trying to tell you this. You're going to lose. You're going to fall back if you don't meditate. And some of you are falling and don't know how to catch yourself. Start meditating. Some of y'all go on the internet and you see spells that you can cast. You want to be successful casting spells. Well, guess what? The best spell casters meditate. And it's not evil to do spells like a lot of y'all saying on social media. First of all, let me tell you what a spell is. Listen good. It says in John, the 14th chapter, start with the first verse. It says, in the beginning was the Word. Why does it say that? Words have power. If you cast a spell, you got to speak. So when you understand that in the beginning of you wanting something, in the beginning of you wanting your marriage to work, in the beginning, if you want to settle a score, in the beginning, if you want to be triumphant and successful, you got to speak. That's your spell. Now, how's that easy? So y'all ignorant. This is the ignorance that's out there because you was meant to be ignorant. Ever since they took that Bible and turned it against you, you became ignorant. How did they turn it against you? By changing the narrative. You holding the book and you don't understand a damn thing in it. Because you got preachers telling you to pray. Oh God, you know, I want a Rolls Royce. Faith without work is dead. You're not working. Working is meditation. You got to earn it. Meditate. I ain't talking about physical labor. I'm talking about meditation. You don't understand. Please hear me out. Please understand. Comprehend what I'm saying. A little goes a lot. You got to meditate. What is meditation? Jesus said, in your possession, you possess your soul when you are still. It says, be still and know that I am God. How you going to know God if you're not still? How you going to know God if you're not still meditating?
Yep. That's what's
How
up.
do you say be still? Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say that's what's up. You're doing good, man. There's good words out there. We about to wrap up this segment. You want to give them any last words before we go into super chats?
Yeah, I want to tell them that this doesn't come overnight. You have to be still. You have to meditate. And meditation is the art of being still and focus. That's what it is. Because when you're asleep, you're not focusing. See? Not focusing on the world. When you close your eyes, now you're focusing on inside. You have to take the journey in. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Let go and let God. Meditate. Capture your soul. That's it, bro.
Hey, well said, man. That was like a sermon.
Yeah, because it gets a little religious when you got to use words like God and Jesus, and we know that Jesus' name wasn't Jesus. But I have to relate to my people.
Yeah,
They know Jesus.
you speak passionately like a preacher.
Yeah.
But better than a preacher, of course. You know what I mean? With better messages, obviously.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
But it sounds like you can like command a whole audience and present to a large group with the way you speak.
I hope I reach this group tonight. Thank you, AD.
Yeah. No, it's all valuable information, man. It's good. Let's see. So we're gonna go into the super chats right now. Let's check it out. Let's see. So this is from way earlier. I'm sorry if we missed your chats from way earlier when we had Crumb on, but he had to go. So we're gonna start with Haymace. Gave a super chat with the flying bird. Jamie Uncensored says, Asuras are Indian, like India. Irritated Genie is an essay on the Haitian Revolution by Jacob Caruthers. What was your point and correct connection? Sorry about that. I should have asked him when he was here. We kind of just let him go in with his presentation, but...
Yeah, the brother was simply trying, I want to speak on his behalf. Kwame was trying to elevate us to the awareness that there is some corrupt individuals coming out of India, but Indonesia in and of itself are not corrupt people. They meditate over there. They are way more spiritual than Americans are, and that's because that information that I was talking about tonight is more involved with them. So yeah, the brother was talking about was the spiritual people that's over there with his representing that title he just gave us. But you got to understand, crime was not condemning Indonesian people. That's all I want to say.
Someone in the chat is asking if you have a website.
No, I don't have a website. I'm currently working on developing a website, but it's not up and running yet. And yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you for that.
For sure. You can always start with like a link tree. Are you familiar with Linktree?
No. What's that?
So it's like a website that allows you to just have your links. So your social media would be up there, any links to books. For a lot of people, that's a lot easier to work with than actually having a whole website because
I'm gonna make a note of that. Yeah,
it prioritizes your calls to action. So like if you're pushing a book, if you're pushing an album, if you're pushing a song, if you're pushing a music video, if you have a link tree, you can have a .com point to a link tree. You know, like you can have Eric, your name .com, and it would be links to your social media, your LinkedIn, whatever you want to, promote. It's a little bit more rapid fire. I think it's great, especially for phones nowadays.
Yeah,
You know?
it's efficient. That's very efficient.
Yeah, websites can be great if you're going to have a blog or if you want to have a whole portfolio type of display thing. It just depends on what your, what you want your site to do and everything. So.
Cool.
But yeah, okay. So Jamie Uncensored also says, number 1, who's cuz with cat hairdo? Number 2, he my long lost bro. I'm not sure what he meant by that, and I remember asking him, say what? He was gonna join us, but he didn't stick around.
Okay.
So shout out to Jamie Uncensored for that. Next up, CoverBoy says, stream that new FG album, DONWAY, The Machine. All right. Let's see. He also
Shout
says,
out to CoverBoy. What's
Yeah.
up, CoverBoy? Yeah.
He also says, Gabar, do you astral project to Land of Make Believe?
Yeah, astral projection for me came when I was a child. It started. I didn't understand what I was doing though. Like it's sometimes when you are 14 and lower age, it will happen by itself. But I actually did it myself later on as an adult. I had to figure out how to do it on purpose, and yeah, I succeeded. It's amazing.
All right. He also says, all good Prezi in USA get capped if you think of it. Oh, he's saying all good presidents in United States usually get an attempted assault in some way if you think about it. That's my translation for that one. Jamie Uncensored says, gotta go, can't hang in the weight room anymore. I got Fox ready for interviews. You got my email and Priest got my number. Best pod ever. Shout out to Jamie Uncensored. He also says, I'm back quick. Who's this brother? I think he's talking about you. And pineal and CoverBoy says pineal gland equals DIK, a one-eyed monster. LOL. I think that is his joke
the
there.
One-eyed monster on Sinbad, the Cyclops.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then he said, woke dude said ghost, boo, spook, sounds racist. All right. That is his comedic material there.
Racism. Lost me there.
Yep. And that is it for Super Chats. We're going to move on to song promotions. Anything else you want to say before the song promo segment?
Oh, no, we good. We good. Yeah.
All right. Let's get right to it. Here we go.
Songs begin.
That's right.
Song promotions. You send in your music, we play it live on the show for Killah Priest and the world to hear.
Yeah. And just a reminder to y'all that yes, Priest is watching, and he will also be watching the playback as well. So all your song promotions will be heard by Priest. I don't want y'all to think it's not being listened to by Priest himself. So we're going to go ahead and start with the first submission by Citrus, the Drunken Prophet from Tucson, Arizona, with a song called Wait Until I Get My Gun Rights Back.
Crime small enough that I can wait them off. I took a myth and then I made a god, carved him in the rock. Drunken prophet never wanted this, but still he took the job. I don't operate anonymous, that's why I'm always watched, blasted and prowling. This is Alistair Crowley. Catch me chanting to a burning pentagram and in the alley. I'm on that low sugar, gluten free, rarely choose to drink. If every toilet's occupied, I lean back and use the sink. The body acts as a pacifist, the mind is a killer. Since they never get it, they'll get it with no filter. Lost my worthiness, somewhere buried in my messy head. Found it where I left it, floating in my heart between the breath. I am a constellation, constantly changing, waving vibration, affecting causation, honest elation in my vocation. Now respect dictation, modestly process my nomination. Been here longer than my life's duration, building the foundation. Wait until I get my gun rights back. Wait until I get my gun rights back. I'll get these guns right back. They don't want me having fun like that. Still, I'm gonna get my guns right back. I'm rocking one iPad. You don't run a up on your son like that. You just wait until my gun rights back. We gon' run that back. Wait until I get my gun rights back. Yeah, wait until my gun rights back. I'll get these guns right. This is another product of the never-ending compilation. I'm not waiting for salvation. This lifetime is my vacation. To my homies, my allocations. My enemies' prostrations. Release resistance, take formation. Cause it's time for activation. That's why I feel this power overwhelming. Flaming aura squelching. Burning faces straight about your selfie. They don't get it within seconds. I don't need to explain the message. I made these verses for the mind to chew. The chorus to raise questions. I got you. The exact same instant I lost you. You can absorb all these vitamins or stick to your dog food. I mock you. But if you listening close and it's not you, I'm talking about that bitch that really ain't much to talk to. Little Mr. Wanna come and take a picture? Wanna kiss a ginger? Wanna feed a fetish for stuffing beavers? You fucking tweeter. These the ones that I'm gon' chase. Gonna crack their skulls open with their iPhone case. Wait until I get my gun rights back. Wait until I get my gun rights back. I'll get these guns right back. They don't want me having fun like that. Still I'm gonna get my guns right back. I'm rocking one iPad. You don't run up on your son like that. You just wait until my gun rights back. We gon' run that back. Wait until I get my gun rights back. Yeah, wait until my gun rights back. I'll get these guns right.
Yeah, wow. Yo, a lot of good aggression. Good aggression in there, good sound. Your mix was cool. It was the beat was pumping me up. Someone said it in the chat. They said Arapema says this is giving me Juggalo vibes. If y'all are familiar with Insane Clown Posse, it's kind of got that vibe. I'm feeling. I used to kick it with Cottonmouth King, so I'm very familiar with the sound and Corporate Avenger and all that and stuff like that. So it's cool. I'm familiar with the energy. I liked it. I like the lyrics. He said this thing about constellations. It totally sounds like my style of bars when you spit that constellation bar right there. So I like that. I dug it. I thought it was pretty cool. Citrus the Drunken Prophet. That's cool. What y'all think? Y'all there? I think we got Knowledge Born here too. Go ahead and keep your cameras on if you can or if you want. Knowledge Born, you there? Here he comes. We got to run through these song promotions. There he is. Oh.
Protect D in the building.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yes, honest to you for holding up the rocket.
It's all
making
good.
Sure the rocket is out here in orbit. All right.
Yes, sir.
Salute to the master student from coming through, dropping his bars, making us think, making us use our mind. Shout out to Free Stin Zodiac. You know what I'm saying? We're using our mind, and Elder Gabar coming through with his wisdom, having us engage our mind and creating quiet space. Yo, that track was epic. As soon as I hopped on and I heard it, I was like, yeah, AD all over this.
Yeah.
That's the AD is all over this, man. So I think it was pretty dope.
Yeah, he had a rugged voice, kind of like that obnoxious sound, which is cool. Nice. Is Eric still there? I think Eric stepped out. All right. Man. Okay, we're just going to keep it rocking.
Soldier Boy and Afro Man. It was their birthday today.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy, huh?
Man and Soldier Boy and Afro Man, born on the same day.
No way.
Word.
Man, Soldier Boy was viral for a minute that one time when he came out, remember? That dance?
Yeah, he created the lane that people you have to have a dance and some kind of online presence. He really carved out that narrative and something that he took home. And Afro Man, he had one of the greatest songs that's ever been produced.
Man, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what. I remember I was in the Netherlands when I first heard this song. It was one of the greatest songs ever made. Just literally. Like he didn't have to go over the top with it, and no matter what, no matter where I went, anytime I heard that song, everybody was singing the song, whether they knew English or not. So he had a world phenomenon with that, and I think he recorded it over there somewhere.
All right, well, shout out to Soldier Boy and I was gonna say because like Afro Man, yeah, I was about to sing a song. All right, let's see. Eric, you back?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had some technical problems.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but I'm back now.
All right, cool. Did you like that track?
Yeah, that track was dope, man. That was real good too, because I was just talking about your gun rights, right?
Yeah, that's true. Talking about gun rights. All right, let's keep it going. Next, now we got EJ Humble from Heartbeat, Connecticut, with a song called "No."
I'm like the lowest, the poet's brokest, and still I'm focused. Don't have a place to live yet, how I think I'm never homeless. The earth is a big place, I love when I get face. I won't be a disgrace, I'm standing for this race. The human, I see it, but few can see how money really don't benefit the human. A new planet was in the works, it's not the Venus Project. A new man is in the hearse and he was from the projects. Now I guess progress gon' take a long process of deprogramming ourselves of all nonsense like gossip, not heartless. I stomp for the conscious, teach the 85s and make it through all gauntlets. I'm haunted at night by thoughts of failure. That's my inner demon speaking, so let me tell you. Yeah, I fail, yo, that every time I do, the God grow is mission impossible. If you ask if I'm stopping, I'm saying no, no, wait, no, how, not then, not now. Can't see it going down, not ever, no. Never ever could it be that way, not with me, no way. What you gonna hear me say is no, no, wait, no, how, not then, not now. Can't see it going down, not ever, no. Never ever could it be that way, not with me, no way. What you gonna hear me say is no. I'm like the riches, my affluence is just like a sickness. Marijuana's my mistress, got my queen, no time for bitches. That's as hood as it's getting, but it's hood if you listen. Pay more attention, uplifting the hood's part of the mission. We don't move as a people, we don't move as we equal. No respect for each other while we get slaughtered like sheep do. If Jesus moved as a Hebrew, he be darker than me too. Life is hard, but I see through the bullshit, my heart's for people. You be called for a sequel, LIU is that equal. Pyramid in the circle, proof they've been bonding my people. Then they stepped it up and focused on blinding the people. Man, I'm every day, I ain't trying to be lying to people. I could die if you see through all that bullshit they feed you, making you think you need them when it's them that need you to continue the fucking death and destruction. Look, I ain't speaking for nothing. It's your life that they wantin', so tell them no, no, wait, no, how, not then, not now. Can't see it going down, not ever, no. Never ever could it be that way, not with me, no way. What you gonna hear me say is no, no, wait, no, how, not then, not now. Can't see it going down, not ever, no. Never ever could it be that way, not with me, no way. What you gonna hear me say is no. I'm moderation and staying balanced, my occupation. Corporate America, royally fucking the nation. Sorta like penetration, without the good sensation. Leave you unsatisfied, we better off just masturbating. Doing it ourselves for social economic growth. This monetary economy has got the masses broken. Here's something you can quote. Going at the masses' throat. Was proud of Obama, still I watch hope slowly float away. So I smoke and stay above the influence of the governmental media propaganda. Somebody put your hands up if you can see that the way our country is ain't how it was supposed to be. That means you're real close to me. We're one in the same kind, got one in the same mind, get one of the same shine. And in these insane times, our country's at a new low. You think the system's my hero? Man, hell, motherfucking no. Wait, no.
All right.
Not now.
EJ Humble holding it down. That's cool, man. Cool track. As far as the music goes, I like the sound. I like the lyrics. I like your mix. I like the production. The master's cool. I think that's a hot track. And I like how you just arranged everything. It sounds cool. I'm feeling the whole song. As far as the video goes, I probably would have flipped up more footage of different instances of someone saying no. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of the same dude that was saying no. You know what I mean? I would go every 2 counts, show someone else saying no. Show a hot girl saying no. Show another hot girl saying no. You know what I mean? Like, just cut to different segments of a fly chick, or at least saying no. You know what I mean? Like, we get the concept. We want to keep it fun. Do you know what I mean? I think it was stuck on that white dude for too long. That's just me though. That's just the video part. That could be your video editor. As far as the song though, I like the track. I like the song. I think that's fire. What y'all think?
Yeah, that was definitely fire, man. That's a song that should be right on the radio right now, man. No.
Mm-hmm.
It was dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, resurrecting the power of choice in hip hop. You see what I'm saying? EJ Humble, he's growing on me. I never heard anything that was bad from him. You see what I'm saying? He's coming in. It feel like hip hop. It sound like hip hop, and providing the multi-tier space of the message. It's not one dimensional with the message. It's a multitude of messages at once. You see what I'm saying? So just like we just heard the spaces of choice and the spaces of coming back to awareness and understanding from Elder Gabar, and from he's giving us choice back in hip hop, because we got this model tone, one dimensional, everybody literally sounds the same. You can't tell one from the next. And if that works for them, that works for them. But the variety and the hunger, you know what I'm saying? He sounds very hungry too. So definitely.
Yeah, he got a good
salute to
voice.
EJ Humble.
Definitely got a good hip hop voice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. All right, that's what's up. Shout out to EJ Humble. That was a cool track. Moving on next. Oh, by the way, I gotta say, Knowledge, your lighting looks really good. Like, it looks like you upgraded your lighting in there.
The aurora borealis.
Yeah, it might be that. It might be the aurora.
Yeah, it is.
From my aura.
Looks like you got some like professional studio lighting in there. It looks good, man. All right, let's go. Next up, we've got FG Postmortem from Long Island, New York, Orlando, Florida, with a song called DONWAY the Machine 3, produced by TCustomz. Here we go.
It's DONWAY the Machine 3, the day them shooter was just a patsy. With the Wolf Daddy on top of the water tower, escaped in SUV belonging to Department of Agriculture. No kick visible when the first shots went off. They used crooks as a decoy, that kid was too soft. Failed to secure all of the rooftops with Secret Service in the building owned by BlackRock. Local police department already knew what was going on. The 20-year-old used a drone and had a van with bombs. Had FBI at his crib prior to the event, trying to assassinate somebody who ain't even president yet. A threat to the Rothschilds, NWO, that's what they said. Wasn't trying to just be Biden, cause that nigga already dead. Weekend at Bernie's using AI voice commands. But DONWAY the Machine said God got other plans. Who caught DONWAY stock, putting bets on his head. Shut down the World Wide Web to delete evidence. Feds up on the slope roof, hosing down the scene. That was too dangerous to set up a counter sniper team. Bullet trajectory don't match the line of sight. And why one of the agents looked like Pat from Saturday Night Live. Can't confirm or deny, was it CIA or FBI? Didn't plan on DONWAY standing up yelling fight. If he didn't turn his head, that nigga would've died. That was a kill shot intercepted by the divine. Now they say the Wolf Daddy escaped with a zip line, telling that paperboy Flip nigga to drive. They dipped out and got the fuck out of Dodge, like they astral projected with Eric Gabar. Now DONWAY the Machine left with a gnarly scar, getting his Columbo with Matlock on.
It's because people that were interviewed on that day, on July 13th, that were in the crowd, spoke about another atop the water tower. There's a water tower that was at a higher point than the about people alleged that they saw someone up there. But what I can say is that this woman giving an interview is the reason that so many people believe that there was a second.
Wow. Dan, did you hear that shout out to Eric in there?
Really?
Did you miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said astral project like Eric Gabar.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you're gonna have to go. You gotta go back to that one. Yo, FG Postmortem going in on the political front. That's cool, man. He dropped a lot of interesting how do I pronounce that? He dropped some little jewels in there. You gotta go back and watch that. It's funny he put Candace Owens in there too and everything.
Yeah, Candace Owens wrapped it up, right? Thank you for that, though, brother.
Yeah. You got that shout out. What'd you think?
That's what's up.
Knowledge.
This is FG. This is your lane right here. This is your lane.
When on that
You
20,
have your own lane. You carved out this lane right there. You understand what I'm saying? I don't rock with the N word. You see what I'm saying? So that's on you. But this is your lane. Like this lane to be able to do this and break these things down and have us questioning things that mass media wants to manipulate your mind with. They want to paint a narrative and supplant it in your mind and you challenge it. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to challenge these narratives that they're putting out here. You see what I'm saying? So salute to you. This is your lane. Keep on coming with it. Especially with these coming months. These coming months, a lot of trickery, a lot of deception, a lot of pandering, a lot of misdirection, all kind of stuff gonna be happening. So
Yeah.
this is your breakdown. It's gonna be pretty.
I was gonna say I don't know if FG is on Rumble, but if you aren't, you should definitely get on Rumble because I think you'll get a lot of views. Putting this music out on Rumble for sure. Do you know what I'm saying? I think there's more of an audience there that will definitely relate to it because there's a lot of stuff being said about second shooter and all that without going into too much detail. You really went in. And you have the gift of showing two things at once, sometimes three things. That's why you got to go back and watch his videos over because there's layers, like literally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's literally layering video on top of video and stuff. So
you're going to see something every time you look.
yeah, we're living in a time now where artwork can be expressed in different technological ways, especially with video and sound. So shout out to FG.
FG.
Yes, sir. All right. Next up, we've got Aurora Borealis from the holy city of New York with a song called The Sultan. Here we go.
Black, ugly as ever, however, I stay Coogee down to the socks. Black, ugly as ever, however, I stay Coogee down to the socks. Ayo, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we, ni, mi, ni, ma, no, mo. These MCs are those are dear, female, dear, my neck, Illuminati, like a regular drop of golden sun, which one poses as my foe, which one a threat? All of the, I chase him down like Pontius Pilate did the child of Bethlehem. Set go with a run, know where to hide, about to fall off the edge of the earth without space you on. Change you far, bro. You see, I'm the present, the earthquake, that crack when I got killed. The cumulus shed tears, my enemies run fair, told me, have I stopped my overlay, John? Spawn, take a win, better than rough section, sympathetic nervous system runs like their earth. I see you always car, they crash. My keynote smash glass all over the 50 states. Drive to your right atrium, right ventricle, pulmonary valves, left atrium, left ventricle, and pump through your whole vehicle. It's the druggish. I've been around since ancient days, scriptures, explain passages on my way, Psalms, prophets. I said on my throne like King David. 10,000 MCs, domes in my hands. I take the promised land by Father Abraham, Princess by sick MCs like quicksand, poker face sword. I take your book and creed, man. I stay clean, flawless, rolling on the left wrist, VIP guest list, man. My presence like winter bliss, falls down 750. Hades couldn't get any more pissed. With a reception like these strikes coming through a palm Sunday, riding through your hood on a talking dog. Hey, every step I take makes you ground and walk on. I talk on, roll like Michael Jackson. I dirty, I had it with all this weed and all this coke. I'm hustling. You know I told gas, I said yes. You step back like college, except you tuition lessons taught. Unless if I jack you, send you back, dude. Believe me, you don't wanna get caught, dude. I do it. Gangster's paradise, you might as well call it a hospice. A hospice.
Okay. All right. Hey, so a few things there. I mean, you've got a style that's going on. I think this type of track probably would do good with a hook. I would do 16 bars, drop some kind of a chorus, and then continue your 16 bars. It's kind of a run-on verse. Do you know what I'm saying? I think you did about like 56 bars right there. But, yeah, I would break it up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Just to keep the ear moving from verse to chorus. That's the first thing. Second thing, It's probably just a mix situation with the drums. There's some distortion going on there with your vocals, so that's a mixed thing. But you've always been, getting better and better at that. So I think that's just a work in progress. Other than that, it looks like this song is 3 minutes and 49 seconds. I would definitely trim it down. Keep it around 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 2:45 tops. Do you know what I mean? Keep the tracks nice and short because you want to catch people's attention and then leave them wanting more. You want them to be like, oh, that's it? Oh, I got to hear more of this guy. If you can create that emotion, I think you'll create more of an audience faster. That's my input. What y'all think?
Yeah, I definitely feel that what you added to it is definitely necessary. It's definitely a hit, but you definitely want to do some other changes too. Add a little more spice and give more flavor to it. But it's definitely something that's going to come out really well. It has a good beat. I like the bass. I always love bass. So yeah, definitely.
Yes. Knowledge.
Yeah, I agree. This is one instance where I say Aurora just if you, especially on that beat, in the beat either you increase your tempo or you slow your tempo all the way down. AD, if he would have rhymed slower, we'd have got everything.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because he was there and he was excited. But if you read something and you just want to get it done, it sounds like you said it in one breath, like you didn't even take a pause with it.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting intricate with his wordplay. You heard the Dirty Diana, you heard all kind of things in there, but you want to hear everything. So if he would have delivered it slower in his delivery, we would have got everything.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the instances, depending on the kind of the beat. Either the beat, you could do the tongue twist double up style, or you could do the. So you there and you want everybody to hear every word that you're saying. That's the reason why you're doing it. You want the people to hear what you're saying. You want them to feel what you're saying. You want them to rock with you with the beat and what you're saying lyrically at the same time. You be like, oh, yo, he said, you see what I'm saying? So you want those things to resonate. And then what AD was saying about shortening it, like 2.5 minutes, because that's what's out in rotation nowadays. That's what's out. It's out there. So you want them like, oh, yeah, I need to find some more of that.
Mm-hmm.
1:30 is killing the game right now. 1 minute, 30 seconds is killing the game because the reels, all of these things, 15 seconds, you could do something online. You could have 5 or 7 things that's said in 15 seconds or 30 seconds in the reel. So the real mind state of the folks is very short.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very short. So
especially
about that with the music.
As a DJ, when we're DJing tracks, you know what I mean? We don't really go beyond 2:30. If we're doing 2:30, it's a good track. Like right now,
super duper, right?
Yeah, we're playing Kendrick's track up to 2:30 or so, and then switching out. But if someone requests Gucci Gang, I'm doing like a minute of that for the hook, a verse hook, and then I'm out. Do you know what I mean? Because that track can get annoying, but people want to be like, oh, I remember that track, and then switch out. Do you know what I mean? So
if y'all remember, KRS said that was his chief problem with the radio. The radio didn't want to play Self-Destruction. They said it was too long. You see what I'm saying? Like, unless you come out with like a Wu-Tang Protect Your Neck or something where it's like from start to finish, you like, oh my goodness, you all over the place with it. You got to do something. Got to do something different. Do something very precise in the time frame that you got.
Mm-hmm. That's why also you'd see if you go to the record pools for DJs, they'd have the club mix. You got the original mix, and then you get the club mix, which is designed to have like a whole, lead in, and then like a lead out at the end, so the DJ can just swoop in, do the verse and the hook, another verse maybe, bridge, out. You know what I mean? That's cool though. Shout out to Aurora Borealis. Coming up next.
Aurora.
Yeah. Next up, we got CoverBoy from Mother Africa and China with a song called Aetheric, track 04. Aetherius is said to be where spirit groups and serves as an afterlife destination for mortal souls through a number of its dimensions. Depending on belief system, Aetherius might also be described as a place that serves as a sanctuary from the Kapla cycle, a place for spirits and souls to reside between world cycles. All right, here we go. All right, that was clean. I like the fact that it's not a 4-bar loop. It's actually an 8-bar progression. There's a part in there where da 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 da. So that's cool. As far as an artist goes, I can only hear Priest on this as of right now, because I've heard Priest rap on CoverBoy's music before. But I like how the instruments sound clean. Everything sounds crisp. I like the reverb effect, the overall effect. Sounds mastered. It sounds ready. That track's ready to be recorded to. That's my input. What y'all think?
You know what? When I heard that, I had a feeling that the guy behind that music could actually do theme music for different types of movies and stuff. I think he has another talent that he might not realize. Sounds good though.
Yeah. That's true. Knowledge.
Yeah, did y'all ever see that TV show Alice in Borderland?
I didn't.
Sleeping, AD.
I am,
Yo, where's CoverBoy? CoverBoy, if the King of Spades had that as his theme music,
yeah,
you would have got $1 billion for that, because 1000%, when that dude, the King of Spades, came on the scene, he was laying people down. Like people was like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, this is great," and he just started executing people. So like you got that pocket for making that way of final boss energy, but then when Gabar just said like theme music, entrance music, the wrestlers. You just think about all of the places where this could be at. You see what I'm saying? Like you see one of them scenes in the movie where they're just taking people out, or people getting snatched up, or you see what I'm saying? All of that kind of energy right there. So salute CoverBoy with the joint right there.
Charges your imagination, right?
Yeah, right. I'm trying. If they did a King of Spades backstory or the character, and this joint just playing in the background, you just like, why is this dude so epic? You see what I'm saying? Like, this was crazy. So y'all ain't never seen that.
I mean, Where's it? Where is that? Oh, Netflix. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was too busy watching Cobra Kai.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
I got to check it out.
Oh, it's good, man. If you've seen the Karate Kid movies, you have to see Cobra Kai.
I've seen all of the Cobra Kai. I just didn't see this last
Oh,
one.
man.
I live for them little kids fighting, man. Them little kids was scrapping. I'm telling you.
It's good. Whoever's doing the storyline is doing a good job. And the consistency of the show, it moves. It never drags. It has like an A story and a B story all the time happening at the same time. I like it.
Right.
I like it a lot. We got Priest in the chat. Shout out to Priest.
Killah Priest.
He's in there.
I'm soft.
He says Priest Pleroma. And on that note, I'm going to bring up his upcoming album dropping this fall called Pleroma. Abraxas Rebus Sigma Pleroma.
Excited for it.
Yeah, that's going to be fire.
Yeah. We need another hardcore EP with him on that CoverBoy beat too. That was epic.
Killah Priest pressed.
That's right. All right, I believe that is it for today. That is all the song promotions for today's episode. Shout out to everyone who submitted. We've got another show tomorrow. So if you want to submit tracks for tomorrow's show, go ahead and do so. And we'll do it around 8 o'clock tomorrow, same time for the song promotion segment. And we're going to have all the links to all of these artists in the description a few hours after the show. Anything you guys want to add before we close out?
Stay in the light.
This was epic. This was an epic show. Elder, you came with it. Shout out to Crumb one more time. AD always holding it up. And shout out to the Royal Priesthood.
Nice.
See y'all tomorrow.
All right, that's it. See y'all tomorrow. Thanks for everyone for joining. Shout out to CrumbTV. Shout out to Eric. And shout out to Knowledge Born. See y'all next time.
They sent the spies from the 12 tribes, they felt vibe from men whose stature was high. No lie, Joshua and Caleb reported that they saw walls with alligators and satyrs. The screech owl, men renowned, each bow. I see down above this weed cloud. I'm flying, the land's packed, the sons of Anak, know where they camp at. A black man sat wearing a ram's hat, demanded tax. In his sand were traps, in his hand an axe. Metal headband with cracks, his face was scratched. Shisha, Ahiman and Telma. El was their allies, brothers that fell from high. The evil that dwell inside, the people that swell in size. 12 spies, they came to a brook where they saw a great bush. They saw grapes and took, how amazing they look. The place was called Escol. Look at the death toll, so grab the grapes and let's go. The Jebusites place heads on spikes. If they see Israelites, then they're dead on sight. So they fled in the night, reporting back to Aaron and Moses about the people before Adam and their culture was the oldest. They said they heard of their grandfather Arbor, wore giant armor, defying honor, triumph and conquer. Rapha, Genesis 6, printed on bricks, Enuma Elish, the tombs of their prince, left ruins huge in the cliffs. Japheth, Ham, and Shem, Anakim, sons of God, daughters of men, they slaughter for skin. Read about them, Job chapter 1, verse 6. More verses, Job chapter 38, verse 7. There's many more sons that lurk the heavens. Look the book of Daniel chapter 3, verse 25. Wings with plenty eyes, the demigods. Kings built their cities high. Ben Ha, Elohim, some say spawned from the devil genes. That's one way, but what of the Holocene? But as the days of Noah were, so shall the Son of Man supernova occur. Regoing to her, Asterith, Ishtar, and fish gods. Molech, slow death, cut the throat necks. The lamb's blood, the bull's horn, then wears the goat flesh. Goliath, the giants, the tyrants. Osiris, see the carving of Gilgamesh, that whole lion. 700,000 mail-clad horsemen and chariots of fire. 700,000 torchbearers and cross wearers. They saw seraphs, Zord shepherds, protected by cherubs. 800,000 angels with daggers of fire. 1 million slingers and shield bearers in front of Messiah. sires, 400,000 bearers of lamps, 500,000 through the fiery axe. At the Nephilim camp, the sons of Anak, the impact took man back. The book of Numbers, ancient Cush and others. The south of Hebron, winged people before Edom. The king of Edom sits with his queen and she's blonde. Be gone, sons of Anak, near Iraq. Cross the map, they're back, but of course we're at another story.